And Johnny, that legitimate MVP case became even more legitimate yesterday with more line movement. Shohei Ohtani now just minus 400 and Kyle Schwarber at plus 300.
Well, I think Shohei moved some money yesterday. I think it was good.
Ipe.
I think there was a little maybe some Venmo out of a prison cell.
That was awesome.
That was awesome yesterday, and another great night at the ballpark.
A great night at the ballpark. And
a quick night for the most part.
Absolutely. And yesterday, you know how, like, if you go back in time, like NFL films, they name games like the Ice Bowl and all that kind of stuff, right? Yesterday, you could name the Phillies game, even though it was just a regular season game against the horrible Orioles. The Bleep You Philly fans game. Taijuan Walker, 6 shutout innings. Max Kepler, 2 for 4 with a home run and a double. Brandon Marsh, 2 for 4 with a home run. Bryson Stott, 2 for 3. Yesterday was the FU Phillies game from some of the members of the Philadelphia Phillies. And look, I applaud it, man, because we are critical of these players day in and day out, deservedly so. Right? Let's be real. Deservedly so.
Well, I've been banging the drum on the whole time on Walker thing all year.
I know you have.
Look, his contract has been ridiculous. His contract's a terrible
contract. He's not been playing toward
But Taijuan Walker is one of the best fifth starters in baseball.
Sure.
And people keep moving the goalposts on him. Every time he does something, it's like, but he's still but his contract sucks. But is it no? Yeah, but Taijuan Walker's been really, really good this year. In fact, he's been a lot better than some of the other starters.
I'm thankful that when he gets his opportunity, he's pitched fairly well this year. Again, he's not really in anybody's plans for the postseason, right?
No.
You're going to have
he's not.
Wheeler, Sanchez, Suarez. We'll see what the situation is between Nola and Luzardo. Walker could be in the bullpen. We've seen him struggle out of the bullpen. We've seen him be okay out of the bullpen, depending on the situation. But I just love that on a night in August. This is why I love sports. The way stories can unfold.
But I would say to neither one of them should be saying F you.
No, I know.
No. But there are fans who do believe that they should be.
Absolutely, fans.
No, they shouldn't be.
Because there are some fans that ignore struggles and just love their team. And I got a lot of that yesterday, the last couple of days, in terms of reactions to the trade deadline and all that kind of stuff. I get it. People love their team. And so when a moment like that happens last night, there's the people that never stop believing in Max Kepler and Brandon Marsh.
Max. It's great. I'm going to even call it. I'm going to call out our own Haley Taylor Simon.
Okay.
Who, by the way, had given up on this team a few weeks ago. And I'm calling Haley out on this because she said, they're not winning 90 games. And I said, Haley, don't back off the ledge. And then last night I saw Haley doing the old, you got to admire Max Kepler and his, you can't hate on him for wanting to play every day and everything. I can hate on it. I can absolutely hate on it because he's hitting 200. And whether it's one night or not, he can want whatever he wants. But when you don't perform like that, I can absolutely hate on it. Because it hurts my baseball team. And I love my baseball team.
I know you do.
And guess what? You can love your baseball team and you want the best team to be out there. This isn't Little League. I'm not worried about the feelings of Little Max. And whether Little Max is upset that somebody boos him or Little Max is upset that he's not playing every day. This is professional baseball. I don't feel sorry for Little Max. He's making $10 million this year. And he's made tens of millions of dollars in baseball. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel sorry that, wow, you had a big night, and it's like, wow, he still feels something. No, I don't feel bad for it. He's been stealing money all year. Like the freaking Hamburglar from McDonald's with a mask on payday. I don't get that storyline of it. I'm glad that Max Kepler had a night last night.
Because it benefited your baseball team.
But spare me you got to love it, Max, and you got to root for him. And you know what? I root for him because he wears the laundry. And if he's not wearing the laundry next week and somebody else is, I'll root for that guy.
Right.
I'm not feeling the sympathy for the $10 million guy hitting 200. He really wants to play. Well, that's nice.
204, John.
That's nice. He really wants to play. Good for him. Good for freaking him. At $10 million. I'm proud of him wanting to play. That's nice. You know what I want? I want a competent player.
Yeah, you all right?
That's what I want.
Are you okay?
I swear to you, I was tired of it last night. I'm tired of the violins for 200 players. You know what? How about a guy like Brandon Marsh? Right now, Brandon Marsh is a guy. He's a guy who, if he wanted to flip the bird And when I see Brandon today, if Brandon maybe even wanted to flip the bird in my direction.
Sure.
Brandon will have a chance to see me where he could do it. If Brandon wanted to flip the bird in my direction, he could. That's different. That's a guy who's really turned it on and is really trying to help this team win.
Well, Dave Dombrowski said after the trade deadline that Kepler's been swinging a good bat recently.
It must be the quality of the bat.
Well,
not the quality of the batter.
Well, yesterday, despite your outburst just there, Max Kepler did have a nice night yesterday. He goes 2 for 4, hits the home run. He has a double, 2 ribbies yesterday.
He did.
En route to a Phillies 5-0 win. And the reason why I call it the FU Phillies game, because your runs come from Marsh and from Kepler and from Stott. They drove in all 5 runs yesterday. And again, Taijuan Walker, a good job to start the game yesterday. Kerkering, Strahm, scoreless innings. Lazar, a scoreless ninth. Now, you bring up Max Kepler and comments. So in case people weren't tuning into the postgame show and well into the postgame show.
Well into it, yeah.
Not just when Tom McCarthy and John Kruk interviewed Max Kepler. Well into the postgame show, Max Kepler spoke with the gaggle of Phillies reporters. And he opened up a little bit about his struggles this season because, let's face it, he has been struggling this season. Everything that John just said is accurate. I mean, he's been getting paid $10 million. Dave Dombrowski made him a big part of the team's plans this year. He's batting .204, up to .204 after yesterday's game. Here was Max Kepler post-game last night.
To be honest, it does get to me. I'm an overthinker, even before I started playing this game. So I try and analyze, what I did right or wrong in the past, and what's to come in the future, and it takes away from the present. And I have to, remind myself or have the people that, my support team remind me that I'm in a beautiful place and a beautiful opportunity and to just enjoy the moment regardless of, rough patches or not.
So,
and that's a great message to himself. That's a great message. By the way, it's a great message for everyone. The plumber, the lawyer, the doctor, the school teacher. It's a great message.
Yeah. But he opens
Absolutely
up
awesome.
that has gotten to him. Now, this is where we have the interesting conversation, right? Because it wasn't that long ago in this city where we gave a standing ovation to a player that was struggling, right? In Trey Turner. And now we're starting to see it all throughout baseball, other teams are doing. I think it just happened recently with Lindor. A team just did it with somebody in the last couple of days. So it's become this.
We might need one for Trey again, by the way.
Right.
Are we having one today for Trey?
No, I don't think so.
We might want to think about one for Trey again.
Let me get to my point.
Or another documentary.
You and your anti-feelings. It's one of these weird moments where we've shown support for people struggling before, and then we pile on other people. It goes back to something that you say a lot. We like who we like, and we don't who we don't. And it's interesting because we'll get into this conversation more. Max Kepler clearly doesn't get it, why people are frustrated. Now, I had a very interesting conversation with somebody on social media yesterday. Believe it or not, you can still have back and forth where it's not just oh, you're an idiot.
And you can. You can. I do it every day, and it's
a beautiful thing every once in a while. And I'm trying to explain, and I'll go through the exchange in the next segment. I'm trying to go through the exchange and explain myself that a lot of it isn't necessarily directed to Kepler. It's the idea that Kepler is still getting opportunities to play despite him being a major disappointment for the people that did have. I didn't have many expectations to begin with, as you guys remember. I didn't.
You did not.
I didn't really think much of the signing. I didn't like that he was a big part of the plans. And it's not just him struggling. It's him opening up his mouth earlier this year complaining about playing time when he was batting .200. And there was no excuse. And then him coming out and saying, well, I was told I was the starter. It's okay, people lose their jobs all the time. You want to go real world?
It happens all the time.
You mentioned the plumber, a good thing for the everyday man to say stuff like what Max Kepler just said. If somebody is not performing at their job, they get fired.
And sometimes people are performing at their jobs and get fired.
Right, pay cuts.
For other reasons.
We know this business, pay cuts. So coming up next, I appreciate the honesty from Max Kepler. I always do. You know that. And the article on ESPN.com, I appreciate honesty. But sometimes the player also has to understand. So we'll get more into that coming up next. We want to hear from you. Your reaction to a guy like Max Kepler opening up, the latest athlete that sort of opens up about booing and frustration from fans getting to them What is your reaction to that? Because John pops off. There's some people that maybe it opens their eyes to a different viewpoint when it comes to how they treat an athlete. There's some people that just don't care, and they say, just perform. That's all I want. And I think that's the majority of people.
Yeah.
It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday? It's a Schefter
Wednesday, dude.
Here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, my name is Phil E. And for most of my...
I had an interesting exchange yesterday on social media with Scott Rob 21. You've probably interacted with him in the past. So I put out a tweet. GIFs on Twitter are amazing. I just type in bench, and I found a bench catalog where it was a catalog of different benches that you could buy.
I saw that.
And my tweet was, nice home run last night, Harrison Bader, your reward. And it's just a bunch of benches.
A bunch of benches, yes.
Because
I saw it, and I thought it was a very creative use of social media.
And so somebody might immediately take that as a shot at Max Kepler. No, I take that as a shot toward Rob Thompson and Dave Dombrowski for whatever it is that they're trying to trot out there. I know Rob Thompson spoke after the game and spoke before the game and said it was a promise. He promised guys the opportunity to play for 6 days.
I made a promise to him.
So Scott responds to me and says, I hope Kepler has 3 hits tonight. To which I responded with, me too, Scott.
So do we. We've been wishing that. Like, I wish that happened twice a week.
So he responds, it doesn't seem like it. Why does everyone complain when he plays? Who cares if he does or doesn't? He's not making the Phillies lose ball games.
Really? Really? Like, somebody took the time to type that to you?
Yeah.
They don't believe that Max Kepler's been part of the reason that this team has been losing games? Then they're not watching. They're not watching games then.
So I responded with, I can hope that he gets 3 hits and doubt that he gets any at the same time. He has been horrible this year.
You can.
Which is true. A 204 batting average for your $10 million left fielder is horrible. He then responded with, he has been, but it's not like he signed a multi-year high salary contract. I don't get why he's hated.
What does that have to do with this year's team?
It does.
And winning games. And does he actually believe? He actually believed what he typed.
I guess.
He's not the reason they're losing games?
He's a part of the reason why they are
He is
losing games.
How about this? He's a big part of the reason
Sure.
they've been losing games.
So, again, it was a cordial conversation. And my last response was, I'm more angry at Dombrowski. I didn't like the sign to begin with, and now they're forcing him in the lineup. What I didn't like about Kepler, he himself, the person, was complaining about playing time when he was not deserving of it. Like Sean Couturier. I don't hate Sean Couturier.
No.
But when Sean Couturier a few years ago goes to his agent to put out a statement because of him being scratched from the lineup because the big bad John Tortorella said, you're not playing well.
The bully.
Like, I have a problem when somebody can't handle that dose of reality. And Max Kepler could not handle the dose of reality earlier this season that he was struggling. People didn't hate him. People just pointed out, this guy does not deserve to be in the lineup right now. You should play maybe the better option. And let's all face it, we're all waiting for the guy who's in AAA that is being thought of as the next big prospect that makes it to the major league level in Justin Crawford. So I need people to be clear or understand that I'm being clear. I appreciate Kepler being honest in that clip that we played for you last segment. But he also has to understand why people are upset. He is not playing well. He is a big reason why this team has been a roller coaster this season. I can't even say his inconsistency in the lineup. His consistent poor play in the lineup is a big part of why this team has struggled. The middle of the order. Why am I saying Kyle Schwarber deserves to be MVP, John? Because there's nobody else that are really playing anywhere near that level on this team. And Max Kepler's a big part of that.
One of my buddies who is an NFL analyst was talking to him yesterday, and he says one of the reasons he's so big on the Eagles, he said, you know what you don't have to use with the Eagles? What term you don't have to use with the Eagles? Today's player.
Right.
The Eagles have a bunch of players who are very much throwback guys who enjoy old school coaching, tough coaching, old school attitudes. He said the Chiefs have a ton of those guys with Andy Reid, and that they appreciate hard, old school coaching. They don't have to be coddled.
Right.
The Eagles are a team that is like, they want tough coaching. They can handle Vic Fangio. They can handle A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. They can handle tough coaching. There's a lot of guys in baseball that in today's game just can't handle the I believe it's the pressure of it. And in the old days, they could have handled someone like back if you want to go to our older listeners, Dallas Green. They could have handled Larry Boa. They could have handled someone like that. Ricky Boa, Jim Fregosi. They could have handled those guys. Today, those managers these players would wilt under them.
Right.
Because they have to be hugged and coddled. It's a hard job. And for some of these guys, it's a mental game. That's why I think Rob Thompson is brilliant. And it's something that he does really well. He manages, Rob's 3 years older than me, 4 years older than me. And he does a great job at understanding the mindset of 20-somethings and early 30-somethings.
Right.
He does, and so that's where he's brilliant. That's where he does the manager's job A+. And that's part of this managerial job.
Absolutely. So here's the deal. Coming up next, we'll continue this discussion. I have an example. We've talked about this before in the past of a player who was honest after his time here in Philadelphia and said it in a professional way, not just like,
sure,
I hated it there. I have an example of a player that we've discussed before, and also to the point that you just made, maybe the pressure. Some of it is the pressure of Philadelphia. How much do these teams have to actually evaluate the person and whether or not they can handle a major sports town? I'm not just going to say Philadelphia, because let's not act like New York and Boston and other sports towns don't also have ravenous fans. I saw an interesting comment on just that on our YouTube chat. We'll discuss this more coming up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils shut out the O's. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies won again last night, taking down the Orioles via a shutout 5-0. Taijuan Walker went 6 shutout, and the Phils bullpen locked things down from there. The offense also had some unlikely standouts with Brandon Marsh and Max Kepler, both going 2 for 4 with homers in the game. And Kepler talked after the game about dealing with the adversity that he has this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it, too, if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
Yes, the Mets did indeed lose as well. And with that Mets loss to the Guardians last night, the Phils are up 2.5 games in the NL East. Game 3 against the Orioles is today at 12:35 p.m. as they go for the sweep. Ranger Suarez faces off against Trevor Rogers. The Eagles are back in action today at camp, but are closed to media. They're just a day away from their first preseason game. They play the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. We'll talk to Adam Schefter of ESPN coming up at 7:55 for the latest on news around the NFL and the Birds. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Eagles offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo.
Like I said before, it's really not.
I've used this example before in terms of a player that admitted that they just could not handle playing in Philadelphia, and it was cornerback Steven Nelson. If you remember, Steven Nelson played one season with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Another honest guy.
And it was last year. I think he did a podcast with Darius Slay. Slay was either his guest or he was on Slay's because they were teammates here in Philadelphia. And he said on the podcast, Philadelphia just wasn't for me. The town was great. Organization was awesome. I just couldn't handle playing in that city. Now, he didn't say, screw the fans, they were nasty. He just couldn't handle it. Now, I find that pretty interesting because he did play for the Steelers for 2 seasons, but only 2 seasons. So maybe same went for Pittsburgh, where it was too tough in Pittsburgh. And I appreciate the honesty when a guy can just straight up admit and say, I told my agent after my 1-year contract that I did not want to sign there again. A guy like Max Kepler, I just wonder, did 10 years in Minnesota, did he not realize...
He's got a German accent, but that's all right.
Did he not realize that Minnesota is a little bit more relaxed than Philadelphia?
I don't think he had many suitors.
That could be true, too.
So I think it was, there's a paycheck? I'll take it. I think that's what he did. He took the paycheck.
So,
and I don't blame him, by the way. I take the paycheck, too.
Let me ask you guys something. Connor is back from vacation. Good morning, Connor.
Good morning.
When it comes to evaluating players, and we're talking draft picks, free agents, a player that you're trying to trade for, how much should they take into account the city that you are bringing them to? Because some guys can just go out there and ball, right? And it doesn't matter. Like, they don't hear the noise. They just go out there. And if you're really good, for the most part, you're loved in the city. For the most part, not all the time. How much should that go into the evaluation? Because there could be a time where you could have player A is better than player B, but player A was really good in Minnesota, and player B was okay in, like, New York. Like, how much should teams take that into account?
They absolutely should. Because some people are not cut out for it. Some people are not cut out for... You are not cut out for an 8:30 dinner reservation.
Damn right.
Like, you're not cut out for that. By the way, I'm not either. I don't want an 8:30 dinner reservation.
The only reservation I have at 8:30 is my pillow.
Like, I don't want 8:30. Now, I don't want 5 either, but I don't want 8:30.
Early bird catches the worm, Johnny.
But it's like the people are suited for certain things that work to their favor.
Right.
Where you live matters. Like, it matters. And I think for a lot of people, they don't understand it if they've never lived away from their comfort zone.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I spent a quarter of a century living away from where I grew up, where my family is, where everything, and you learn about living in a completely different place.
Yeah, but you know what?
And you're never as comfortable outside of your nest.
And that's true, but I also think there are some people that, like, how many times have we talked to high school kids or college kids that want to get in the industry? And one of the messages that you give, that I give is, you can't get beaten down by what people are saying about you.
No.
And in a city of Philadelphia, like, Max Kepler hears it 50,000 times more than what we hear, but, like, every day we get called, we suck.
Right.
You know, why is this guy on the radio? This guy's a doofus, blah, blah.
You got the 4-follower account, and then the 8-follower account that then is going to troll you every day.
Or even more followers.
Right,
like,
whatever it is.
And it's every day, but, like, you can't let it
worry about it.
You can't let it bring you down, but there are some people, even Philadelphia high schoolers, college kids that are trying to make it in the industry that can't handle it.
It bothers them immensely.
Right.
I think sometimes you either play with it, you have fun with it, you ignore it, whatever it is, whatever gets you through it. But if you can't handle it, and in Philly, you better be able to handle it.
Right.
You better be able to handle it.
And if you can't handle it, then you're honest like Max Kepler was. And again, I appreciate the honesty. You may not appreciate the actual tone of the conversation.
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
But do you at least appreciate him being honest? Because that is something that we always ask athletes and coaches and GMs to be honest. And he was being honest yesterday.
Is he honest? Is he honest about his own performance? Is he honest? Like, he doesn't. I think he has a lack of self-awareness. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why people
and when
would be disgusted.
when he brings up the I need more, the playing time thing,
Like, are you kidding
that
me?
you don't get.
How many more
Correct.
bats do you need?
Right.
Like how much do you have to wait? Seriously, Max. Come on, Max.
Connor, where do you come in on this conversation, considering you have a Max Kepler jersey somewhere hanging in your room?
I don't have room with all the Thibault jerseys. But if you're not evaluating the fit to the town, especially in a place like Philadelphia, and this is mainly, I think, a Northeast sports town conversation, but if you don't evaluate the fit, you're not doing your job well enough as someone who builds a roster. It's a huge part of it. We've seen plenty of talented players work somewhere else and come here and not work because of the pressures of playing in this city. And it ratchets up when you play for a contender in this city, right? Or a good team with expectations in this city. It doesn't outweigh talent, but if you're not having that as part of the conversation, you're missing something as a GM or president of operations.
And that's why, to your point, John, when you brought up the conversation you had with the one of your buddies about the Eagles and how
he was very effusive of the Eagles have a locker room that would have been fine in the 80s and 90s.
But maybe they evaluate it that way. And hello, SEC, right? Like Georgia,
that's the truth too.
Alabama, like those guys have been hearing horrible things said about them since the time they were 18. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, right? That's not a good thing. Like that's horrible that fans of Alabama and Georgia will yell at an 18-year-old because college football just means more down there. You could speak to that a lot more than I can, right? So they are kind of built for it. There are some players, especially baseball players, where a lot of it is the travel ball and there's a lot of people together. And oh, by the way, like you're the best of the best to get to the major league level. The same with all the other sports. Like I get it. You're the best of the best. But if you go to Georgia or Alabama, you will hear that you suck if you make a bad play. If you make a bad play in the travel ball AAU, like what is it? Is a parent going to yell at another kid's parent or something?
You make a bad play at Rutgers. You make a bad play at Temple. You make a bad play and you're playing football. It's not the same as playing in the SEC.
Right.
Or playing at Clemson. Or playing at one of those schools or Texas. It's just not the same.
Well, and that's why maybe the Eagles evaluate it that way. So I saw a couple of interesting comments on our YouTube chat. JM says, is this a Philly thing or is this ubiquitous? We're dropping ubiquitous.
That's a good word. Good word.
In modern fandom. In my lifetime, I don't remember fans making excuses or protecting players from justified criticism.
Really?
It has started, like, in the last couple of years, at 100% we have seen this change.
JM. Is it JM?
JM, yes.
JM, I would suggest, and I'm just very respectfully, I would say go to mine or Andrew's or Connor's or whatever. Go view our social media and read the feed for a week. Your social media feed may not see it.
Sure.
Mine sees it constantly. Sometimes the defense of the indefensible. Right. But it's like, come on now. It's whenever Marsh has a big night, I have the phantom that comes out of the woodwork to send me the email going, hey, here's with Marsh.
Yeah.
And as I said, when Marsh does well, I say it. When Marsh does poorly, I say it. Mm-hmm. Because I'm fair.
And sometimes it's not necessarily directed just at the player. It's, hey, Dave Dombrowski, I can't believe you signed this guy, Max Kepler, who has not really had a good season in 6 years, to a $10 million contract.
And look, there's nobody, like in the Phillies, there's nobody that I think in that clubhouse that I want to see succeed more than Brandon Marsh.
Sure, yeah.
I watched him since high school.
Right.
I watched him play football.
The good person
I want to see him succeed. But that's not going to stop me when he's playing poorly of saying, yeah, he's sucking the life out of them. But when he's playing great, to make sure it's pointed out, hey, by the way, he's playing great.
Yeah.
You got to have it. And by the way, Brandon Marsh is one of those people that understands it.
Right.
I guarantee you the same commentary would not come from Brandon Marsh.
Sure.
It would not come from Brandon.
Look, I always bring this up. I gave Trey Turner so much credit pre-standing ovation when he would talk to the media every day, when he was really, really struggling. And remember, he said, yeah, I'm struggling. I'm in the cages every day.
Ate it.
He didn't say, man, I really need people to give me a standing ovation. Like, he never said that, right? He opened up about it, obviously, after the standing ovation, how much that helped him. But beforehand, like when he was talking to the media, he was like, yeah, I got to work. Like, this is on me. I have to work through this. He wasn't blaming anybody else for his struggles. Now, Jay King on our YouTube chat kind of responded to JM saying it's a kinder and gentler fan in today's world. Praise the player and lift up their spirits. It's devastating for a player to hear boos or criticism. Now, criticism, if you're devastated hearing criticism, that's on you. Like, hey.
Well, don't get into sports talk radio. Don't get into anything. I mean, like, just.
I mean, don't get anything public.
Yeah. Anything public, don't get into.
But not just criticism, like, from a listener or from a fan. Like, when I've been doing my ESPN shifts, right? I've done, like, 15 shows.
By the way, I created 2 burner accounts to just rip.
Damn right you have. After every show, I call like the guys that oversee the radio station, and I go, because like national radio is a new world for me, right? Like this, I've been around. We're always adapting today's talk show.
Correct.
We're always doing new things, but that's a whole new world for me. So I go, hey, what did I do right today? But also, what did I do wrong today? But that's me. I can handle that.
Yes.
But some people can't handle criticism, and if that's the case, then Philadelphia is definitely not the place for it.
No. I'd suggest Albuquerque, maybe.
Nice town.
I don't know. It's a nice town. It's beautiful.
They got mountains.
They have hot air balloons.
They do?
Yeah. The girl from Hotel, too old a show for you.
Yeah, too old.
Daughter of a very famous musician. I can't think of her. She got so pissed at me in the airport there in Albuquerque, I'll never forget it. I can't remember her name. I'll have to look it up.
What are you doing in Albuquerque? Like,
I was there in the business world.
But why are you crazy? Why are you
She was sleeping. She was sleeping with sunglasses on, sitting up. I didn't realize it, and I said hello to her, and I woke her up. She was sitting up, and she literally like dog cussed me for waking her up.
That was me in the JFK airport yesterday.
I can't remember. She was on Hotel, I remember, and her dad was a musician. I can't remember who she is. I'll look her up.
Please do.
Miserable woman.
We hold my breath until I find out who.
Miserable.
Coming up next, we'll check our text messages. Also, it's great that Kepler had the day that he had yesterday. Should he have been in the lineup?
Sherry Belafonte Harper.
Right? Bryce's wife?
Sherry Belafonte Harper.
Everybody have a I was about to say have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, what is that? You ended the show?
Already? I don't know.
It's 6:37.
I could go home. See you guys. All right, we'll be back next year on The Fanatic.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans.
But one of the things from yesterday is great that Max Kepler goes 2 for 4 with the home run and the double. It's a great game for him.
It's a great day.
And you hope that continues if he's in the lineup today.
Oh, jeez.
And the question is whether or not he should have been in the lineup yesterday. So Rob Thompson said before the game yesterday, when asked why Kepler was in the lineup, he talked about how he promised the guys that they were going to platoon. Now, to be fair, they did say that when the trades first happened, that they were going to platoon for like 6 days. It wasn't just Topper. Dombrowski said it as well, that they were going to platoon kind of like Austin Hayes last year. Let's see what this guy's got. Can he handle himself as a starter every single day? I question whether or not 6 games is enough of a sample size for a new player. Like Harrison Bader's been here for 5 seconds and he's started in 2 games? Like that's not enough. And if I'm doing a competition, it's hard. Like if Kepler goes 2 for 4 today, he's not playing today, and then he plays again tomorrow and struggles. Is it because he had the day off in between, which he has talked about the inconsistent playing time affecting him, even though he had plenty of consistent playing time earlier in the season? I just don't know how you can actually find out who wins jobs in you play one game in a 10-game span in Major League Baseball.
I would say Kepler's had enough of a chance.
Yes, I agree.
Jury is already done with that.
Which is why I would just give Bader 10 days.
I would give Bader the time.
And just
Bader's
see what
the one who deserves it. He's the one who deserves the eyeballs. He's the one who deserves the chance to show what he's about. And if I hear one thing about, he promised. Rob Thompson, he promised. Rob, did you promise this? Because there's a lot of other promises that we've been told that have been backed out on. Remember, you were going to do defensive substitutions, too.
Yep.
Remember, you were going to do that. You told us about how important you felt the defensive substitutions were when you decided to rip the streak away from Nick Castellanos. Have we seen any defensive substitutions like that since?
Not since then. No.
Not one.
No.
So in other words, it's been meow.
But it's
been like curling up like a kitten.
It's a weird
because you got pushback on it. You're afraid to do that.
It's not just a Topper thing though. It's an organization thing. It's the Johan Rojas, Justin Crawford thing.
They said Rojas.
That wasn't Rob Thompson's decision, you know.
No, it's but you're coming around to my way of thinking. This organization tells you one thing and they do another. They tell you something, we're doing this, and this is the reason we're doing it, and then they do another.
Right.
They don't follow through. And to me, that is incredible. If an organization does something and they explain it and then they follow through with it, you get to judge whether it was a good decision or bad decision.
Right. So tomorrow, I'm excited for it. Right. But tomorrow we're going to talk with Matt Gelb of The Athletic, who wrote the really interesting story the other day. Great reporting, as always, by Matt Gelb, that they're still trying to figure out this outfield situation, and now they're including Nick Castellanos in the conversation as well. Connor, I don't know if you had a chance to read that article. Or
I read the original one post-trade deadline that they were still trying to figure it out.
Well, it's different now.
Now they are considering, if Crawford were to come up, which is still an if, because God forbid, if Crawford were to come up, they would want him to play every single day. And if he plays every single day in center field, they would consider platooning both left and right field, which means Nick Castellanos would be a member of the platoon as well. I think that's a fire that you shouldn't really play with.
It's madness.
But it's something that they're considering. Your reaction to that, Connor?
I'll tell you right now. I thought when I came back from vacation, Max Kepler would no longer be on this team. I can't believe they're handling the post-trade deadline outfield the way that they are. I think Harrison Bader should be playing. I think Max Kepler has gotten plenty of opportunity, and I think they're messing this up. Now, here's the thing. It's hard to argue with the results last night, so if they continue to get results, I'm not going to sit here and just carp every day about who's in the lineup and who's... If they win and the guy goes 2 for 4 or whatever,
right?
Sure, but
now I'm not going to really value the Orioles game all that much.
Exactly.
Right. We're not playing the Orioles in October.
It's what the score's 18-3 in this series.
Yeah,
if we're doing the soccer thing.
Yeah, we're not facing the Orioles.
Yeah,
what's at the aggregate? We'll have to ask Nate. Nate can clarify that.
Yeah, exactly.
But the track record it isn't there for Kepler for him to still be getting these opportunities, and he's lucky to still be on the team.
Yeah, he is. And look, he came through yesterday. Good for him. For backing up.
Good for us.
His beliefs of him as a player. We just want to know from you at 610-632-0975, how do you react when Kepler has his comments? We'll play them again for you, come up in a little bit, about, look, the boos have gotten to him. What do we have on the text line? I know people are chiming in.
Jim from Saturday leads us off, and he says if Max Kepler bats .500 the rest of the season with double-digit home runs and 40 RBIs and then wins NLCS MVP and then bats .400 in the World Series, then and only then I'll let him say F you to me.
Okay. Well, that's a little high bar to get over.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But, Jim, I get the sentiments.
The only thing I don't want, and I hope this message actually gets to Max Kepler. So, John Brazier, if you're listening. Like, I know that the situation with Kepler is weird that I think we all thought he would be DFA'd right after the trade deadline because there was enough reporting that Crawford was going to come up, and that hasn't happened. If Kepler has a good remainder of the season, and good for his terms at this point, where it's like, all right, you can put him in the lineup. Like, not, he is.
So you're talking relatively.
Yeah, he surpasses the unplayable
how about this?
stage.
He hits 240. How about this? He hits 245 with some pop the rest of the way.
Sure, and not finish the season 245 because that means he'd go like
the rest
600.
of the way. Right.
I don't need him like mouthing off.
Correct.
Because if he already questions why he was being benched, if he questions why he heard frustration from fans, I would not be surprised that if he did have a little hot streak, if he mouthed off a little bit.
I can tell you that I thought he was a bad teammate when he was complaining about his playing time and complaining about the fact of what he was promised and what he was with his performance. I think he should have just said, shh, shh.
Yeah.
Not the time to be talking. Not the time to be talking. Now's the time to be putting your head down and working hard.
Now, to his credit,
Go work hard.
We didn't play it, but later on in that opportunity for him to talk to the media yesterday, he did say like he appreciates the fans that are there every day, and look every day. Like it's a sold out crowd again last night.
Beautiful crowd.
Against the Orioles on a Wednesday or a Tuesday in August. Like I get it, kids are out of school and all that kind of stuff, but
it should be. Yeah.
It's
this team. It should be.
Citizens Bank Park is rocking. The videos that we saw of Kyle Schwarber's home runs the other day. So I appreciate Max Kepler being honest. I appreciate him realizing that the fans are showing up every single night, and it's not just people on social media all the time. But he also has to understand why people have been frustrated this season, and that's something that he still clearly isn't grasping.
It's not. The synapses are not firing.
So we'll check more text messages coming up next. You will hear Max Kepler once again. And also, to start the 7 o'clock hour, everybody listening to this show knows that we are always right about sports. We've never been wrong about sports. And we're the smartest people in the world when it comes to sports. I'm just kidding. This show is accountable. And you'll get a lot of that in the 7 o'clock hour. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another win for the Phils. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phils won again last night, taking down the Orioles via a shutout, a 5-0 victory. And Taijuan Walker, a strong start from him. He went 6 shutout. The Phils bullpen locked things down from there. The offense also had some unlikely standouts. Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler, both going 2 for 4 with homers on a night where Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper a little bit quieter. Kepler talked after the game about dealing with the adversity that he has this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it, too, if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
It was a nice night for Kepler and a nice night to watch the Mets lose as well. That means that the Phillies now have a 2.5-game lead in the NL East. Game 3 against the O's is today at 12:35 p.m., a little earlier day game. Ranger Suarez faces off against Trevor Rogers as the Phils go for the sweep and their 4th straight victory. The Eagles are back in action today, Camp, but that's closed to media. They're just a day away from their first preseason game. They play the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at the Link. Adam Schefter joins us coming up at 7:55. This update's brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
people not siding with Kepler in the conversation. So I'm curious if we can hear from more
people. I've always said that the YouTube audience, smart people. They're really smart people.
Also kind-hearted.
Well, I've always said that. They're my kind of people with that. I got to tell you, they are my kind of people with that.
So I want to hear from more people on this. Text line, social media, you name it, phone line 610-632-0975. When you hear the Kepler comments, which we'll play for you here now, what is your reaction to it? Because he's a guy that's hitting now 204 after his big day yesterday. He's been a disappointment for those who did have high expectations for him this year. He's supposed to be a big part of this lineup, like in the 5 or 6 spot. Where was he on opening day? Wasn't he like the 5-hole hitter to start the season?
I think he was 5.
And
I think he was 5 on. I'll have to look it up.
5 or 6.
In a season where, World Series are bust expectations. And now they acquired a player in Harrison Bader, and we're all wondering why is the player that's been struggling all season long still in the starting lineup. So here was Max Kepler after a very good game yesterday. Not just good game for him. You would take 2 for 4 with a home run and a double from any player on this lineup. Here he was yesterday, sort of bearing his soul about what he's been dealing with this season.
To be honest, it does get to me. I'm a overthinker, even before I started playing this game. So I try and analyze, what I did right or wrong in the past, and what's to come in the future, and it takes away from the present. And I have to, remind myself or have the people that, my support team remind me that I'm in a beautiful place and a beautiful opportunity, and to just enjoy the moment regardless of, rough patches or not.
So Kepler opened up the season as the 6-hole hitter in front of Castellanos, Stott, and Marsh.
Do you use that term?
What? Support system?
Support team.
Support team? I don't really use it, but
you would say Christie's your support team.
Yeah, my parents, my wife, a couple of my very close friends, yeah.
Yeah, that would be your support team. Because I was wondering, is when, Connor, your support team, are Andrew and I on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because, I wondered when he said that, when he made that term.
Go back on vacation.
I wondered what the support team, I wondered what he considered his support team.
I'd guess his agent, his maybe a personal trainer that he works with.
I personally love that he has it.
Yeah. Everyone should.
To me, if he needs that in his head, between his ears, then that's great that he has.
And your support team could be one person,
your
right?
Your support team could be whatever it is, right?
In the article, the Joel Embiid article, we found out that he literally only trusts his wife, that, and that's it. And that's sad, but that's also all right. At least you have that person that you can trust, and so hopefully a game like last night helps Kepler out. But odds are, and I don't want to be unfair or nasty on this Wednesday morning following his big game, odds are it's not going to continue because this has been his season.
He's given you no reason to think that it's going to continue.
So when you hear that response from Max Kepler, he is being honest that it has gotten to him. Does that make you want to give him a standing ovation, right?
Oh, stop it.
Or does that make you go, all right, dude, you're hitting 204 this year, making $10 million. You stink, okay? There's that fan, too. And I know, there are some people that just don't care at all about how a player feels. I just wonder if he truly understands why he's hearing what he's hearing this year. And that's something I don't think he does.
Yeah, now...
And that's my big takeaway.
That comes from, to you, almost entirely the comments earlier this season about not getting the playing time, right?
Yeah, that's where it starts. When he starts talking about he doesn't understand why he's not getting the playing time, he was told he was the starter. And I go, all right, if anybody sucked at their job, they would either get fired, because there's not many demotions, right?
Exactly.
You get fired, right? That's the real world, Max. And you got paid a lot of money to perform to a certain level. You weren't performing at that level. This team isn't the Marlins that are just trying to have a fun season. This team's got World Series expectations. And so if you're struggling, you're not going to play.
You're not in Minnesota.
For you to express your frustration, like Sean Couturier a few years ago, I get bothered by that. Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want, because that's the only thing we've really heard from him that says, and that definitely says, hey, I don't get it.
And I don't think it was I don't take this as a shot.
No.
At the fans or anything. I don't.
No, he was just being honest that it has gotten to him.
Right, and that's fine. I think it is a bit of I hope his support team whoever it is, gets him and goes, okay, it sounded a little lack of self-awareness. Little lack of understanding of what you're doing. Like, come on, Max.
Because sometimes your support team can tell you when you are wrong. Yes. What a transition! You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. This is a show of accountability, John.
It is, and this is going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, Haley, I'm going to take it off for you.
Whoa. Maybe explain what you're taking off for
the glasses.
Because not everybody's watching on YouTube.
I took off my glasses, and I do this just for the effect. This is going to be one of the most amazing segments as far as...
Marconi?
As far as accountability, this is going to be one of the most amazing segments in radio.
Wait. We do sports talk radio. We're never supposed to admit when we're wrong. We're always supposed to be right. We're supposed to be the experts, John. What are you doing here?
Well, let me tell you this. I'm just going to tell you how wrong we were on last year's team.
John, Scott might be listening.
The Philadelphia Eagles. But how right we were, too, is what the interesting thing is. It's really strange how much we had the idea of what the Eagles were going to be, but we had no idea how they were going to get there.
Right.
When I tell you, I'm going to give you a list of things, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh.
Wrong. We were wrong on all of these things. But as far as, did we all agree the Eagles were going to win the division?
Yes.
Yep. Did we all agree the Eagles were going to have a really, really good season? Yep. Like, it's crazy how right we were about things, but how wrong we were about how they were going to get there, which really intrigues me about this upcoming season. So let me start with this.
Do the because I've mapped this out. So do the games one. And this and you know what? You know what he's doing here, Connor? I know what he's doing.
What's that?
You're not trying to be accountable. This is your way to try to not do W's and L's.
Oh, you're right.
I sniff right through this stuff, John.
Oh, no. We were wrong. I mean, we were so wrong.
All right, what is it? What were the games? Because I appreciate that you take note of this.
I love taking note of this stuff. I'm going to tell you that we were we agreed. We finally agreed, haggled on 3 games we thought that they were going to lose.
Okay.
Do you remember the 3 games? Do you have any idea?
I'm going to guess. I got to pull up the Eagles' schedule.
Baltimore on the road.
Baltimore on the road, correct. We finally agreed that we all agreed that they would lose to Baltimore on the road.
I think one of them was the Cincinnati Bengals,
yes.
And this was before we found out that their defense was poo-poo.
That is correct. But we all did agree that we would lose to the Bengals on the road.
Correct, on the road, right.
We all agreed Bengals loss on the road. Ravens loss on the road, and there was one other game, and it bothers me now that we did.
Split to the Cowboys?
Correct. We all took loss at the Cowboys.
Because that's a chalk. Well, you're not gonna win both. And again, Dak hurt, even though it's not like he was great to start the season, but there's context to everything.
Shout out to Son.
Yeah,
I am absolutely.
Right.
It is. Those were
all 3 of us agreed.
By the way, they were the only 3 games that we completely agreed on. You guys tried to get me agreed from the notes. I was absolutely adamant they would not lose to the Rams in L.A. There was some arguing about the Rams game.
I think I said they were going to lose one of the 2, but I did not believe that they would lose back-to-back.
And we haggled, and
so we went with the Ravens.
I think we won you over to the Ravens because you were on the Rams.
Okay.
And I said, there's no way they're losing to the Rams. I didn't see them losing to the Rams. I never saw the Rams being a team that stood in their way for them to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So there was me not seeing that either in the long run. But it just goes to show you. But
by the way, they only lost 3 games.
But did we say no? Those were the 3 games that we completely agreed on.
Yeah.
And they went 3-0 in those games.
It's amazing.
And what did the Eagles do? How many games did they lose, Andrew?
3 total.
And the 3 that we were absent, well, they're losing this one, they're losing that one. Okay, we're all in agreement. We're writing this down. They won all those games.
Yeah.
So we think we know, but we knew the finish line. And that is what is so interesting about this
you were
exercise.
talking about the NFC title game in November.
Exactly.
You made reservations.
Before the season.
You made reservations. Sorry, November was the Super Bowl.
After the Ravens
when you made
game.
reservations for restaurants in New Orleans.
I did the day after the Ravens game.
It was December 2nd.
I made GW Finn's reservations for us for the Super Bowl.
And there were people that were not happy about that.
And there were, I have some of the emails.
Oh, John.
Oh, my gosh, you just jinxed it. Oh, my God. Well, you know what? GW Finn's was freaking delicious.
That was a good time.
And I knew that if we didn't get the reservations, we weren't getting in.
During it,
and it was awesome. Yeah.
I was falling asleep at the table.
Well, you and DeCecco, I think, went to happy hour at like 2 that afternoon.
Here's the problem. We get done so early. Yeah, we went out at like 2, and then I got tired of drinking beer at like 5, so I moved on to harder liquor. The reservation wasn't until 8:30.
They don't call it the big sober.
Right? No, they don't. They don't. All right, coming up next. So, how about this? Because I do want more at the bottom of this hour of things we were wrong about when it came to the Super Bowl champions last year that we were more high on than a lot of people.
No, we were. And the thing is, you're never going to believe that's only 3 things we were wrong about.
Right.
I got a laundry list, and we still were high on them, but we still got it completely wrong.
Coming up next, do we have any consensus games for this season? Either wins or losses. So we'll do the 2025 consensus next. It's Kincade and Salciunas. So I was about to say, in the first 4 weeks, I do not believe the Eagles will start the season 4-0. All right, so
I do not either.
There will be a game, but I am having a hard time still trying to figure out which game that is. Like, I know the Rams have this game circled as their in-season Super Bowl, but it's a 1 o'clock start where they're coming from the West Coast, and sometimes
they'll come in on Friday.
Right, but, it's still 10 a.m. the time that they're used to. Again, going off of probability and statistics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 1 o'clock games are not good for West Coast teams.
Not good for a West Coast team. And where is Matt Stafford in week 3? Already dealing with back issues. They don't necessarily know when he's going to start participating in training camp.
Correct.
I know that Matt Stafford is a professional, and he could probably go out there and play football without any practice. But he also has a new weapon in Devontae Adams. How long is it going to take for him to get comfortable with them? I think the Eagles beat Dallas.
So do I.
So we have a consensus win.
But the Kansas City game, are you glossing over?
I can't. No, I can't. I can't gloss over that.
I can't either. Do you find does at Kansas City scare you more than at Tampa Bay?
Yes,
it should.
It does.
Yeah. Kind of.
It should.
At Tampa, I get it. They have struggled down there, but in terms of the actual teams, even though Tampa's going to be good this year, I think they win that division easily this year in the NFC South.
Well, if I was to put the Dallas game, I do not have a fear of them losing.
Neither do I.
But if I was to take the next 3 in order, Kansas City most fear, Tampa second most fear, LA third most.
But then
I agree.
But then I can follow up with this. Andy in the beginning of his season.
Yeah, his teams.
They struggle. And
yeah.
We are. We know that very well.
Is that an old school argument or
no? Because struggle could also not look like themselves, right?
Okay.
And you can win a game and look at what we dealt with the Eagles last year in the first 4 weeks of the season. They won the Super Bowl, and they did not look like a good product in the first 4 weeks of the season. But I agree with you. If you were to order it in terms of the team that I think could beat the Eagles. In a stretch where I don't believe they'll go 4-0, Kansas City would be number 1.
I'm going to tell you, if the Eagles come out of the Kansas City game 2-0, then I'm feeling like it's smooth sailing into the Green Bay game. They're going to probably lose a game, but it might just be a blip on the radar. I don't feel that it's a brutal schedule at all. So.
I
feel
agree
very
with
good
you.
about it.
The opponents are difficult, but the way the schedule breaks out.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
I mean, we've been saying that since the schedule came out. So I don't know. Do we have one this year? Now, again, when we did the consensus last year, it was also coming off of the collapse. It was coming off of Sirianni and Hurts beef. It was coming off of who is Jalen Hurts when it comes to the quarterback. They lost Jason Kelce. They lost Fletcher Cox. There was a lot coming out of the 23 season into 24 where it may have been easier for us to come up with a consensus. This year, they're coming off of a Super Bowl, and they're a machine. I don't see a game where I think we would all agree is a loss.
I think the 2 Monday nights are very scary. At the Chargers, at the Packers. Both of them are very scary games to me. Kansas City is scary to me. I think that Charger game is very scary in December.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't agree on the Green Bay one, only because Sirianni's been incredible out of the bye since he's been here. Has he still not lost out of the bye?
I believe you're correct.
He's been good. He's been very, very good.
I like that, but the Chargers one is sneaky.
I look at the circling of a game for Green Bay much more than I do than the Rams.
I don't know.
Because Green Bay gets to be home, and it's Monday night, and it is the game that is circled on their calendar.
You don't think they're spending the bye week, the Eagles, thinking about the tush push?
They could be, but here's how football works, right? I'm telling you right now, the Packers game against the Panthers the week before will be a clunker.
They'll just play a clunker?
It'll be a clunker because they're going to be looking ahead. I mean, that's the way football works. Not all the time, but you guys get it. That's the way it works. But, yeah, Green Bay will probably be up for that game, but I'll be honest, man. I don't have that same level of fear. Coming off of a bye, I don't have that same level of fear as you.
I've told you before, everybody in the national media, and I will tell you, if you can find me the people that aren't, I want to buy them a beer, are so in on the Commanders. And I'm doubling down. I'm not.
I agree with you.
I'm not.
I do not buy me a beer. I'm in the national media these days.
I do not buy it. I do not buy it. I absolutely don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy that the last game is going to mean anything. I'm not buying that the Commanders are this gigantic threat to go to a Super Bowl. Like I can't even fathom.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't see
Not
it.
at all.
All right. So coming up, we will continue to get more
Lots of losses. Dude.
accountability.
Lots of losses.
More accountability about what we have gotten wrong when it comes to the Eagles. But I do want to get a text message in, Connor, because I don't want to lose the Max Kepler conversation and the Phillies discussion after yesterday's fun win where it was like the FU game from the Marshes and Keplers and Stotts and Taiwan Walkers. What do we have on the text line?
All right, so we have a check-in here from Lynn in Delaware who brings up something we mentioned earlier. No Kepler praise yet from me. The O's are a minor league team, produce when we need him to. He hasn't done enough this year at all.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think anybody should be, like, coming on here today saying, I told you! Like, nobody should say that. But I think you can say, hey, good game for Kepler and applaud it.
And you can, and that's what we did.
You shouldn't
right.
ignore that he played well yesterday.
No, exactly.
And that's a problem that a lot of people have. There are a lot of people, we always talk about people that don't want to be wrong, right? Like,
well,
Kepler had a good game yesterday.
Well, how about
applaud
this?
it.
This is the show for you today.
Hell yeah, man.
If you like it when people have to say they're wrong, I got a whole laundry list more.
All right, so you have a bunch of things. Now, what I want to do is also hold the fans accountable. Something that you thought you were so spot on about last year that ultimately you were wrong about. And look, not to keep on bringing it up, but this show was very confident in the Eagles last year to the point where we were called homers and they won the Super Bowl. So, as we continue to hold ourselves accountable, what were you wrong about the 2024 Super Bowl champion Eagles? Text those in at 610-632-0975. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning. Adam Schefter, Wednesday at 7:55 today here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils make it 3 straight. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phils won again last night, taking down the Orioles. A shutout win, 5-0. Taiwan Walker, 6 strong innings in his start, and the Phillies bullpen locked things down from there. And the offense got going, but not because of the big boppers. No, it was guys like Brandon Marsh and Max Kepler, who both went 2 for 4 with homers. Nice to see from Kepler, who has had a nightmare season for the Phillies. And he talked after the game about dealing with the adversity that he has this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it too if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
And Kepler is correct. The Mets did lose to the Guardians last night, which means the Phils are up 2.5 games in the NL East. Game 3 against the Orioles is today at 12:35 p.m. Ranger Suarez faces off against Trevor Rogers as the Phils go for the sweep. The Eagles are back in action today at camp as it continues, but closed down to media, so we won't hear from them. We'll see them tomorrow night, though, in actual preseason action. They're just a day away from their first preseason game. They play the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at the Link. We'll talk to Adam Schefter coming up at 7:55. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Andrew DeCecco, The Fanatic's Birds.
an aggravated disc and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. Los Angeles has called him week to week, being cautious, but with plans for him to be ready for week 1. Now, does that mean ready for week 1? He at least threw the ball in training camp a few times, or ready for week 1? Like, all right, it's time to play, Matt. Let's get you on the field. I'm just telling you, like, as much as I think this Rams team is very, very good, the Stafford situation is something that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. Because if he is banged up already, and he's getting epidurals now from not working at all in training camp, it's not like he's 25 anymore. Just something to keep an eye on.
I think Stafford might need the epidurals. Now, you think it's because it's hard playing in the NFL? But back in college, it was infamous that he went to Talladega back when I was doing this job in the South, and he was the quarterback at Georgia. Mm-hmm. He went over to Talladega and did the whole infield thing with the RV.
Okay.
And infamously, he was having pictures taken with him bench pressing full kegs.
Okay.
With hot co-eds.
Respect.
And stuff.
Respect.
Yeah, it wasn't much respect from Mark Richt. Mark Richt was not exactly happy about it because it literally went viral, including him being passed out drunk with like the co-eds on the floor at Talladega. I'm sure the pictures are still out there.
I respect.
But yeah, so I was thinking is like if he ever has back issues, I would always, if I would ever run into Matt, I'd be like, maybe it was the kegs.
Maybe
it was the kegs back in the day.
Where's Alec Bohm at? All right.
We haven't ever figured out that mystery injury.
All right.
From spring break down at the beach.
What other things were we wrong about when it came to the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles? And I hope people text in. I asked, it's a show of accountability today. So what were you wrong about as well, our listening audience at 610-632-0975? Because, once again, not to toot our horn, because we're about to go through what we were wrong about. We did say this team was going to be really good, and we got pushback on it. So what do we got?
So, sorry for the losses. My fault.
Okay. What else? We got
another 4 moment over here.
Okay, here you go. Here's one for you. We played, strangely enough, as I get on a plane tomorrow to go do it on Friday, we played a little Price is Right. How far were we willing to go where we would all agree the number would be no better than this or no worse than this?
For what, wins?
The Eagles' defense.
Oh, okay. I think I said like 15. I think I was middle of the pack.
Would be no. You said no. It would be no worse than, no better than this or no worse than this. Okay.
I don't remember what I said, but I remember I was middle of the pack.
Okay. What? So I'm just going to go with what we said best. The highest we would put best at, we all agreed, 12th.
Sure.
We all agreed the Eagles' defense, best case scenario, was 12th. Now, that was going from 30th.
Right. That's still an incredible jump.
So we were all very positive that there was going to be positive change. But our agreement was the ceiling was 12th.
Right.
Okay, we were way off.
Now, I'm curious, and maybe the great people like Elias would be able to figure this out.
Okay.
How many times in NFL history did a team go from 30 to 1?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like, I'm curious. Like,
no, it is. It's crazy.
Because, Vic Fangio did there is a chance that Vic Fangio did a historic job last year.
Vic Fangio took a team to first previously in his career as a defensive coordinator.
Was it from dead last to first?
I don't know if it was, but it was a really bad.
Because they were dead last or like bottom 3.
They were 30th. They were bottom 3 to first.
To number 1.
So that was a bit. Now the number we went with offense, what was the highest we thought they would be? 5th. So last year, the Eagles' offense. Now, when you look at the stats for teams, what do you think about that? I mean, as far as the Eagles' offense last year, I think 5th. Like we pretty much had it. Like on that one, I don't think we were that bad at all.
It depends on what you're looking at too. They were top 5 in running, but they were bottom 5 in passing.
No, we were doing on what we had done with that though was we had said for that one we had said for points scored.
Points scored.
We went with points scored last year in the regular season. That's what we were going by. What would we do with that with the offense? Where would we have this team? And to me, we did pretty well. Like, I mean, that's not a bad.
Where did they finish?
I'm going to give you that one in a second here. As far as points scored for 2024, where did they end? We had them at 5th. And for points for 1, 2, 3, 4, they were a lot better than them. There were quite a few teams better than them.
Yeah.
Tampa was better than them. Detroit was better than them. Washington was better than them. I'm trying to look here else. Baltimore was better than them. Buffalo was better than them. So it wasn't bad. They finished like 6. They finished 7. So they weren't bad.
Okay.
But we were close. That was the one we were probably closest on.
Okay.
We did individual numbers. You remember my atrocious Jalen Hurts?
Yes. I do remember it.
Well, you guys hauled me in on that.
Yeah.
We all agreed on where we went as far. Price is Right, without going over. We all agreed that the number for Jalen Hurts' passing, though, 3,500 passing yards.
And it was nowhere close.
2,900.
Yeah.
He had 2,903.
Yeah.
We said 3,500 passing yards. Do you remember the passing total touchdowns number we had? Once again, we did Price is Right that we would all agree on without going over. We all could agree on a number that we said, okay, I feel comfortable. He's going to get this.
Well, we probably said 25 to 30.
We said 20.
All right. Oh, wow. Okay.
He got 18. So we were pretty close on that, too.
That's not bad.
And people got on us about that. We had
and remember, we did make the tush push case, which
and we made the tush push case.
Push happened.
And we also made the Saquon case.
Yeah.
The number we came on Saquon, that we came down with the number we agreed on was, we all agreed Saquon would get 1,400 yards.
Well, in fairness, he did.
He did.
Well, he did. Yeah, he got a lot more than that. That was the only number we would go to. We wouldn't go to 1,500. We went to 1,400.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, we all agreed.
What, 1,200, 1,300?
We said 1,400.
Yeah.
A.J. got around 1,000.
He at least got to 1,000, which was still with as bad as the passing offense was last year. It shows how dominant he is that he still had a 1,000-yard season.
And we all agreed that Devontae Smith would get to 1,100 yards.
Did he have
880?
Yeah.
880. Like, guys, we had it, though, because we agreed they're going to be a 12-win football team.
Yeah.
They're going to be a 12-win football team. Now, they did better than that. They won 14.
Right.
That they were going to win the division.
Had that.
We all agreed on that.
Yeah.
I had them hosting the NFC title game. There it is. We're there. I had them in the NFC title game, I should say. Like, I mean, we had them as a really, really good team. But all the way that we thought they would get there, we were wrong on. And I wonder, how much are we going to be wrong on this year? And it's so weird because you brought up the exercise. We can't come to a consensus on what game they'll lose this year.
Right. And again, it's the context coming off of last year versus coming off of the previous season where we weren't as confident going in. We were confident that they'd be good.
No, we were confident they're going to be a division winner.
Right.
We all agreed, division winner. We all agreed, all of us agreed 12 wins was the floor. Everyone agreed they're going to get 12 wins. So we were right. They won 14. The floor we agreed on was 12 wins minimum. And all those numbers, though, we were wrong on. Wrong on Jalen's passing. Wrong on AJ's catching. Wrong on Saquon's rushing. And they did it. Wrong on the 3 games we guaranteed they would lose, and they only lost 3 games, and we didn't get one of them right. It's amazing. It's amazing how we knew they would be a really good team, but we had no idea how they were going to get there.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I never thought. If you told me they were winning at Dallas, at Cincinnati, at Baltimore,
at
the Rams.
We also didn't know that, Dak Prescott would get hurt. Give
me Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Cincinnati's defense would be literally, like, the Baltimore win is still one of the more impressive wins they had last year, especially how they did it. Like, Jalen threw the ball 18 times in that game.
Yeah, I think there's a very important lesson in this for, like, consuming sports that everybody struggles with. We do, the fan base does, where you might have this notion of what a team is, and you can stick to that, but having to see it happen a certain way is such a high ask and something that you never get. Even in a great season, even knowing where they're going to end up by the quality of the roster, we're going to be wrong on a lot of stuff. And maybe that says, hey, slow down a little bit on the knee-jerk reactions to certain things and believe in your initial evaluation of the team.
Well, last year, and Connor, just something we did a couple weeks ago. I mean, they played a horrendous. They were horrendous at home last year.
Yeah.
The Eagles were probably one of the worst Super Bowl champions ever at home the way that they played.
Which is amazing.
They played 4 teams that were in the top 9 draft picks and barely snuck by them. Like, snuck by them. I mean, terrible. And they won
the Super Bowl.
So, to that point of overreacting, that is going to be lurking in my head forever.
But hold on,
positively as well.
Yes. Yeah, and positively.
No. It's going to lurk in my head to say the whole thing of the win is a win is a win is a win means a lot more to me after seeing that come to fruition.
But in fairness, the first 4 weeks of the season last year where they were dropping Jalen back 30, 40 times, I questioned the way the team was being played. And
that's when they lost to the Falcons.
Right, but I did have the knee-jerk reaction of what the hell is this team doing? And then it took an offensive lineman meeting with Nick Sirianni to change the direction of the offense. Knee-jerk reactions will still happen.
I got you. But after that meeting of the minds...
Oh, they went on the roll.
Then but wait, whoa.
Oh, they still
played like crap against Cleveland at home. Terrible. Played crap against Jacksonville at home. Played terrible against Carolina at home. 3 teams that drafted in the top 8.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they didn't fit like they won. But they played horribly at home. Barely, holding on to beat lousy teams at home. We don't know what they are till they put that final. A win is a win is a win means a lot more to me now.
All right, what were you wrong about in 2024? 610-632-0975 when it comes to the Super Bowl champion Eagles. Speaking of holding each other accountable, I need to hold a lot of you accountable when it comes to debating sports. Because after yesterday, I'm now ready to go to war for Kyle Schwarber in the MVP race, even more so from some of the responses I got. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know what that means. Engagement season. But remember...
break from our man Joseph Brennan, who's always pretty active, and I appreciate
What's up,
it.
Joe?
He says it's been almost an hour and a half. Now it's been over an hour and a half. And I don't think they've mentioned Alvarado's apology. So we will get to it in the 8 o'clock hour.
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
I'll just tell you right now, I don't care
I don't either.
that he apologized.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's not eligible for the playoffs, so he'll be back.
His apology.
We have said this numerous times. I will use him like a running back on the final year of his deal.
Uh-huh.
And I will do whatever I can to make the most out of him before he is unable to play for the Phillies because of the PED use. So it's great and all that he apologized, and I hope this.
Is it?
I hope his teammates heard the apology, and who knows what that reaction was like. But it's great and all that he apologized, but that it doesn't do anything for me. He is ineligible for the playoffs because of his PED use.
I love that. It's great that he apologized. Yeah, it's really great. Guys, I screwed up your season. I screwed up your chance to win a World Series big time. I hampered this team. I absolutely affected how your team had to allocate resources, how you had to go do things. Out of complete selfishness on my part. Or stupidity, or both. And then I made a mistake. Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. All right, so I want to hold some of the people accountable, John, that we interact with.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not the people we interact with every day. Sometimes it's,
all right, sure.
Oh, this is the first time you and I have tweeted at each other or Instagrammed at each other.
Sure.
So yesterday, I finally took to social media the case for Kyle Schwarber and how he should be considered more strongly for the NL MVP. And remember, I made the case to you yesterday. It's not just the individual head-to-head numbers, but it's also what they have done for their team. Ohtani has had a lot more help from his teammates with the Dodgers, much more than what Kyle Schwarber has had with the Philadelphia Phillies. If you remove Ohtani from that lineup, they're probably still in the wild card. If you remove Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies lineup, they are outside looking in. That's just, I would
fact.
believe fact.
No, that's fact.
Considering the disparity of numbers from Schwarber to his teammates and Ohtani to his teammates. So I made a pretty compelling case, I would like to say. And some of the responses I got on social media yesterday, and I'm okay if somebody wants to say, I don't agree with you. Here's why.
Okay.
When people come back to me saying, bad take, Homer, why? Why is it a bad take? The amount of people that responded in some sort of way like, wrong, clown, some Phillies fans, and then there's some people that, I'm sure I popped up on the timeline because it's Dodgers and Ohtani. There are some people that cannot have a legitimate argument with any basis behind it. So yesterday, I found it interesting.
Shocker on that one.
Yesterday, I found it interesting, and I don't mean to call this guy out specifically, but he is the prime example. One of the responses that I got was how it was a terrible Homer take from a guy named Chris.
Okay.
And Connor, I don't know if you saw the video or anything.
By the way, Chris Miller. I'm still waiting for Chris Miller in our Commanders bet.
Yes, no, this was not.
I think Chris
Miller.
is still crafting it. He's still crafting it.
So all I did was respond with, explain your reasoning, and then we can converse.
Right, exactly.
I'm not just going to be like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Exactly.
Go ahead, explain your reasoning,
and then we'll have a debate.
No response.
Okay.
So finally, I followed up a second time. I did the double follow-up, which I don't normally do because you know me. I don't.
Are you double texting?
I don't give a damn about social media. I did a double response after the line moved again to Ohtani minus 400 to Schwarber plus 300.
Okay.
I said, hey, just so you know, line moved again. Hashtag Homer take. To which he responded with, I appreciate the reply. So I always love that.
Okay.
You come with the nasty first. I replied, now we're friends. He says, I just think you're letting your Phillies bias get the best of you. I love what Kyle Schwarber brings to the team, but Ohtani is and should be the overwhelming favorite for MVP because he's built different. That is not...
What?
He's built different is not a reason that somebody should win MVP.
Well, first off, what does that mean?
Because he does more than what Kyle Schwarber does. But what people need to be reminded of, I think, is that Ohtani has pitched 15 innings this season.
He's not a pitcher. He's not.
And I had a lot of people responding with, DHs can't win. Well, then Ohtani
can't win.
Can't win because even though he has pitched 15 innings, he has been primarily a DH this season.
That is correct.
And I added to the point, if we're doing that, Kyle Schwarber has been in the field for 58 innings this year, which means he has played in the field for 43 more innings than Shohei Ohtani. I'm not telling you that my opinion is gospel and that my opinion is right. But when we have debates over sports talk radio, sports talk media, Twitter, you name it, I need you to come with more than just bad take.
Well, a lot of times it's like bot level activity. So it's like that
bot. He actually had his face on his profile. Like I appreciate that.
It's good. I mean, it's a
real person.
Yeah, it's like bot level activity though. It's just I'm just going to troll.
But why is that? Like when it comes to sports, like I love sports debate. That's why we do this, right?
Correct.
When I go to a bar and I meet somebody and it's, oh, I'm sorry, you probably don't want to talk sports. No, I do. Like that is my life.
No,
like,
let's have a debate. Let's have some fun.
But it has to be real. Like and you know, people step over the line over time. That's not even the point that I'm getting at. It's just disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing or disagreeing without any sort of basis is something that I wonder why.
Because,
why? Connor?
Because we're forced to be accountable with what we do. And some people will fight that even in this industry, but we have to come on here every day for 4 hours and talk about it. One tweet, done forever, delete the account, doesn't matter. If you're a regular person who's not in the space of sports talk, at this point, with the way social media is surrounding everything, but also sports, you're trying to get blood from a stone if you want actual true debate. It's just not going to happen with the way social media exists. But
even some of them, like that, I'm using that guy Chris as an example, saying, "Oh, homer take." But like, I had another response saying DHs can't win MVP, and then I follow up with,
paying attention.
Then I follow up with, then Ohtani's pitched 15 innings. Like, I know what Ohtani is, and I love Shohei Ohtani, but Shohei Ohtani was injured last year, so he has only pitched in 15 innings. And he kind of forced his hand to pitch, as we've talked about a couple of times. Like the Dodgers organization.
They had 3 starters. They had 3 starters on the injured list.
Right. So he felt
so he was like,
best
I'm
for the
doing
team to help
something
out.
for my teammates.
Right. But being an opener is not enough. Amy made the point yesterday. Weston Wilson has pitched 13 less innings than Shohei Ohtani this year. Like, so when it comes to stuff like that, like, you can't just be wrong.
But you can. Have you seen the old tweet that circulated, went real viral? Someone tweeted at an MMA fighter. I was like, dude, you stink. You cost me money on this bet. And the fighter responded and said, I bet you wouldn't say that to my face in real life. And the tweeter then said, you're right. I never would, which is why I said it on the internet. Like, that's just how this game works, man.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it's also just an internet thing. Like, there's access to the internet. Like, I'm sure if somebody feels that adamant, a Phillies fan, like I had Phillies fans in my mention yesterday. If a Phillies fan was that adamant that Kyle Schwarber should not win MVP, I would imagine they feel comfortable saying it. He wasn't disrespecting me.
Right, but it would be rare to
mean?
sit down in person at a bar and have that conversation where the person just says you're wrong over and over and over.
They would never have that conversation.
Right, they would explain their point. You would go back and forth.
Have you ever met some of your biggest critics?
John Kincade.
Well, I do. I've seen him every morning. We've had this conversation. You meet people in person. And it's like, you know, these people have typed out nasty stuff about you and everything.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the nasty stuff.
No, but I'm saying it's the same concept.
Sure.
People behind a keyboard, are not the same people when they actually have to interact in person.
Okay.
So arguments aren't the same.
Well,
arguing becomes, I'm not listening to you. Yeah. It's it becomes that.
I hope we can eventually change as a society.
We could. You know what we could do? Social media could become social.
Right. Where it's actual sports debate.
No, I think if everybody had to put their name on their account.
Well, no, but these people did have their names on their account.
Social media would become much more social if everybody was signed on as their real selves. Then it would become social. Because people wouldn't act like a-holes. Because they can't hide out behind cat avatars,
right?
But stupid crap like that.
These guys weren't being a-holes. They just disagree without any basis. But they don't act because it's behind a keyboard. Well, it's not. That's what it is. If you have an opinion, say it with your chest, but give me reason. Exactly. And most do. Most do. The majority do. Yeah. All right. Coming up next, Adam Schefter on this Wednesday morning here, Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phil's depth shows up. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Moyer & Son. Summer's heating up. Call Moyer Indoor Outdoor for expert pest control and lawn care. Moyer, trusted service, year-round solutions. Visit eMoyer.com today. The Phils won again last night. They took down the Orioles via shutout, 5-0. Taijuan Walker had a great start for the Phils. The bullpen looked really good, and the offense had some unlikely standouts. Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler, the ones who carried the load last night. 2 for 4 with homers each. Kepler talked after the game about dealing with the adversity that he has this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it, too, if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
And Kepler is right. The Mets did indeed lose to the Guardians, so the Phils up 2.5 games in the NL East. Game 3 against the Orioles is today at 12:35 p.m. as the Phils go for the sweep. It's Ranger Day. He's on the mound against Trevor Rogers. The Eagles are back in action today at camp, but that's closed down to media. They're just a day away from their first preseason game. They play the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at the Link. We'll talk to Adam Schefter coming up next. This update's also brought to you by Rapid Radios. They're instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is a Wednesday at 7:55, so we will be joined momentarily by our man Adam Schefter. Really busy day in the NFL, so obviously we will talk to him about Jacorian Bennett, who the Eagles acquired for the trade, giving up Thomas Booker, and maybe we'll find out more from Schefter as to why. And Schefter has some ties with Vic Fangio from back in the day. So was this a Vic Fangio decision? But also there was the big merger between ESPN, the NFL Network, and the stake that the NFL has in the company.
And I have an uncomfortable question for Schefter about it.
I know you do. We'll talk about that. And also Micah Parsons, per Adam Schefter, has still not talked to Jerry Jones since the trade request happened on social media. So there's a lot of things to get into. He joins us now on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business get you ready for what's next. And he's brought to us by Landis Block. Create your very own jaw-dropping backyard paradise online at landisbc.com. From ESPN, our man Adam Schefter joins us. Schefter, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Well, there's a lot going on all over the NFL. We got smelling salts. We got mergers. We got Micah Parsons. So we'll get to it all. But I do want to start here locally. First, the Eagles trading for Jacorian Bennett the other day, trading away Thomas Booker. We know that you have previous ties with Vic Fangio. How much, in terms of Vic Fangio and his power with the Eagles, does this scream this is who he wanted, considering there's a cornerback battle right now that nobody really feels totally comfortable with in training camp?
Well, Vic doesn't always get what he wants. It's not exactly how it works. There's obviously a group of people that want a lot of different things, and sometimes they want different things, and sometimes they don't. So I don't know exactly how the battle for Jacorian Bennett came down, or any agreements or disagreements. I really don't know any of the backstory there, other than I know that they were looking for more help at that position, and they obviously parted ways with a player where they're very deep, and who knows if ultimately in the end he might have even made the roster. You don't even know that, because they're so deep at that spot right now. And being so deep there enabled them to acquire a player that I think they have some interest in, that they're curious about, at a spot where they need more help than the defensive line.
Do you believe that he was on their board when, since he went so close to Kelee Ringo, a guy that they have on him, and went one pick, Kelee Ringo went one pick after him? I wonder if they were interested in him at that draft time.
Well, it's hard to say that. I don't know that yet. Again, we're talking about a backup cornerback. I just, I haven't spent all that much time on it. In light of some of these other things that you mentioned that are going on.
Yeah, there are a lot of things going on. Let's start with the George Kittle out of nowhere airing of a grievance yesterday, talking about the smelling salts and the use of ammonia being banned. Now, I understand there's reasoning behind it, because they don't want people masking concussions with it. But if you could,
and it's bad for your brain.
If you could, can you speak more on the NFL's decision to ban the smelling salts?
Well, they believe that the products aren't safe. They're not proven to be safe. And I think the big thing is they think that it could mask signs of a concussion. Now, I don't know, but the FDA issued similar warnings in 2024. And I think the league is probably taking its cue from the FDA. And obviously you saw how George Kittle felt about it, was not happy about it. I'm sure there are other players who are not happy about it. But the league, is trying, certainly publicly, who knows probably, but they're trying to make an effort to handle the troubling concussion issue as best as it can. So if this is a way that masks the symptoms of a concussion, then the league is trying to outlaw that from the game.
Yeah, it's one of the things, too, Adam, is that when the players say all the time that the league didn't do enough, in fact, they've come out and said, the league didn't do enough to protect us against brain injuries, protect us against things like this. Then there's documented evidence that these are some things you probably don't want to be doing, and then players come out against it. I'm always scratching my head saying maybe the NFLPA should say, hey, guys, let's have one message on this instead of all these conflicting messages.
Yeah, well, right now the NFLPA's got its own problems that are a lot deeper than smelling salts.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Adam, I got to ask you a question. with this whole merger with the NFL and ESPN going into business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm asking you this question, and I'm not trying to make it uncomfortable, but it's for all of you journalists who work for ESPN who cover the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
How is your audience going to be able to know that you are being able to be completely objective about the subject matter you cover when you will be covering people who you work for?
I understand and respect the question, John. And what I would say to you is this. The NFL and ESPN have been partners as long as ESPN has been broadcasting games.
And they shut down a television show, a fictional television show, because they didn't like the subject matter.
Okay.
So literally they heavy-handedly didn't like a fictional television show and shut it down and showed their pressure back in the day.
All I can tell you is has it stopped ESPN from doing all kinds of reports over the years, from reporting on the NFL in any way. Like, nobody once has ever said to me, you can't do this, you can't say that. I'm not aware of anybody at the network ever saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't even remember that. And I think if a reporter, any reporter worth his salt, were told anything like that, it would be insulting. It would be insulting. By the way, I worked at the NFL Network for 5 years. I never experienced anything like that. I never experienced anything like it. Nobody ever said to me, you can't do this or you can't do that. So I understand it's a topic that people want to bring up. In my 35 years in the business, nobody, well, actually one time, I remember doing something about Bill Belichick's hoodie, and somebody at NFL Network said something like, we can't mention that because they're a sponsor or partners, so you can't mention the name by name. In my 35 years, it's the single and only time that somebody has told me that I can't report something or say something. 35 years. So I've been at ESPN 16 years.
Yeah, I'm just going back to the whole playmakers thing, which was pretty well documented, that the NFL told ESPN, we don't like the way our players are being portrayed in a fictional TV show, and they pressured them to cancel the show, and it was highly successful. So I mean, we have seen it.
But that a fictional TV show is not reporting.
No, I get it. But the thing is, we've seen a heavy-handed approach by the NFL where they said, we don't like something, ESPN, shut it down. And I said, so I can understand where the bedfellows, now they work together. Now they actually own part of the network.
And I can tell you that I think there have been various instances over the years where it's come to my attention that the NFL hasn't been happy with ESPN over certain issues or a certain story or a certain report. Like, no, I understand people are going to bring it up. I understand the question will be asked.
Okay.
I can only speak from my experience in 16 years. I've never seen or heard anybody at ESPN say you can't do this because of the relationship with them. That's all I can tell you.
Sure.
Okay, fair. What about the relationship between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones? I saw your tweet yesterday that since Parsons issued the trade request, he has not spoken to Jerry Jones. I know Jerry is Jerry, and he's still talking to the media. What's going on between both parties here?
A lot of nothing right now. I mean, there's a lot, and then there's nothing. And what I mean by that is there's been no dialogue between the two sides in terms of a contract in months. Zero. You have people coming out and saying things. So what Micah said, there was a lot there. What Jerry said, there was a lot there. What's going on between the two sides in trying to produce an agreement, there's nothing there right now. So from Micah's standpoint, he feels like he wants to be traded. He's not happy. And Micah's going to have some decisions to make ahead of that Thursday night opener against the Eagles. You heard Jerry yesterday say he didn't know that Micah Parsons would be playing in that game. Doesn't know. Micah Parsons, his greatest leverage, we have to see how this would break down, would be withholding services. His back could be bothering him that week. His hamstring could be tight. His ankle could be sore. Right? He could have a head cold. He could have a lot of things that prevent him from playing.
We're also looking at week 3 for the Eagles right now because of the Matthew Stafford story. And obviously that's a big story to watch too, is what are you hearing on Matt Stafford and his back?
My understanding is that they had a game today, he'd be playing. That they're just being smart and careful and maintenance. He'll be playing week 1.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, Schefty. Well, we appreciate the time as always,
Thanks, Adam,
man.
and thanks for being candid.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you again next week as we get closer and closer.
We got a little short segment here today, shorter than normal.
Oh, no.
We're
not at all.
We're at break time, or we don't want to get yelled at by Scott Masteller.
Yeah,
I've been busy yelling at him.
Is that right?
Really? That's a whole nother issue. That can get into real problems.
Yeah, you don't want that. Schefty, we appreciate the time as always. We're under a month away from kickoff. Can't wait.
Have a great week, guys.
There you go, buddy.
There's Adam Schefter on the Comcast Business Hotline, brought to us by our friends at Landis Block. Create your very own jaw-dropping backyard paradise online at LandisPC.com.
Do you remember Playmakers, or are you too young for it?
I don't remember Playmakers.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Okay, there was a fictional television show that ESPN created called Playmakers.
Okay.
And it was about the life of NFL players, and it was rather risque.
Okay.
And it was based on a true portrayal of NFL players.
Interesting.
The NFL shut it down, and it was a huge success. It was probably 2003 or 4.
Interesting.
And the NFL didn't like the sex that was being depicted, the lifestyle of players, and they told ESPN, shut it down.
The only thing I remember getting shut down, and I don't know whose decision it was Jacked Up.
Oh, yeah?
And that was when the concussion stuff really started coming out. Because remember, they used to do a segment on the biggest hits in football. That's gone. All right, coming up next, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas and a lot more Philly stuff to get to, like the reaction today for Max Kepler and in the future for Jose Alvarado. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
We have today's headlines with Connor Thomas coming up in a few minutes, which
I'm
always
creeped
creeps
out by Connor, too, but I've learned to deal with him.
That always creeps me out.
What did I do? First day back like this?
So I just saw something on Instagram that I haven't seen. I don't know. Maybe this has been around for a while, and I'm just seeing it. But I'm just on, main page, right? You see what the latest posts are.
You got a weird algorithm?
There's some weird stuff. Being around this building, the stuff that pops up on my algorithm from stuff that's going on around here really freaks me out.
Do you know that there is a chat with AIs tab?
Allen Iverson?
No, not. Well, maybe. So there is a tab. I can click on chat with AI.
Hey,
one of them is.
Does it ask you to borrow $10?
No. Okay. One of them. God, you and your jokes. One of them is my ex. Like, you message your ex and they respond to you. One is my stepmom. A lot of you wackos out
We'll move
there.
on.
Okay, that's creepy.
There's a Sydney. These are the top ones that are just popping up right now. There's a Sydney Sweeney parody. So, Connor, you can maybe fall in love with her. Triple H, Bryce Harper.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, but no, not hell yeah. That's
It's not him.
No, that scares me. Not hell yeah.
Hey, maybe it could be him.
And so now I have a couple of questions off of that. Do these
That's
people
so freaking weird.
First off, who's doing it? Number one, who I get, oh man, me and the boys did this last night. A one-time thing, sure. But is there somebody actually at home oh man, I'm lonely. I'm gonna talk with AIs, a Sydney Sweeney AI, Bryce Harper AI.
Okay,
and do these people does Sydney Sweeney have to okay it?
No.
I don't. This is weird.
No, this is a mental health professional needs to help you. This is where you need an intervention. You're going to go, I'm going to go and converse online with Sydney Sweeney AI. That's freaking weird.
I just clicked on.
You know what?
I just clicked on see all. The second most popular one that pops up is AJ Brown. What do I need from what?
There was a time when people would just literally say to somebody that they loved, you know what, dude, we got to get you some help. Because you need to help somebody. Because you're spending too much time in your freaking phone. Put the phone down. Put it down. You got to put it down.
Oh, God, there's some.
Because you need to get outside. You need to get outside. You need fresh air. You need to do something. No, don't put that. No, I'm saying you too.
Don't get lost.
You got to put it down. Put it down.
You
got to put it down.
I just found one.
No, put it all down.
Granny Cougar is an available AI chat on Instagram. Granny Cougars? What is wrong with society?
Older BYU fans?
Oh, God. All right. It's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
Granny Cougars.
All right, not in today's headlines, Granny Cougars. It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. So this has been mentioned a couple times already on the show. The George Kittle comments about the smelling salts being banned. Now, we mentioned it with Adam Schefter, but we didn't play the audio because he had an impromptu breakthrough into an NFL Network interview, and here's what he had to say.
I honestly just came up here to air a grievance. Our team got a memo today that smelling salts and ammonia packets were made illegal in the NFL.
Wow.
And I've been distraught all day.
Okay. Illegal? He even said he's not practicing anymore.
I considered retirement.
So we got your guys' questions, but not your thoughts. Yeah, that's tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, but what are your guys' thoughts on
No,
that?
look, if the reasoning is because they don't want it to mask concussions, then I think that is what's best for the human that plays football. I've done the smelling salt before. Our buddy Trey Thomas, who used to work here at the Fanatic, he brought some in one time, and it was like, here, this is what I used to do on the field.
Hockey players use them a lot.
And, dude,
that stuff gets you jacked up.
Yeah, but
and it's not good for you.
It's not good for you.
It's not good for your nose cavity. It's not good for your brain. It is not good for anything. It's not good.
And
I'm not even talking about masking concussions.
Right.
I'm just talking about it's not good for you. And by the way, then what do? You see 8th graders, 10th graders doing it. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. Now, the good thing for me is I can't smell, and I'm stupid already. So, for me, I might be okay. But for the average person who's smart and can smell...
All right, now I'm curious.
It works for me.
I would figure because it's still the sensation.
Because I can breathe. It's the fumes. It's not necessarily...
Right,
it's not actually
the smell. Right.
A smell, quote-unquote.
Right, which is why you put it in a water bottle, and then you open up the water bottle real quick, and then that's when you do it.
Yeah.
because Trey would have like 6 in there.
It sounds like you're an expert, huh? Well, no more smelling salts in the NFL. We do have something else with football, though, that I want your guys' thoughts on, because this was a guy that we talked about a lot in headlines in the show, and we don't really check in on the Cleveland Browns all that often, but Shedeur Sanders, their QB1 for their first preseason game. You guys really think he has a shot at winning that job?
So I will tell you this first and foremost. I will watch it. I just got to find out when the game is. That is I want to see how it looks. Friday, so we don't have the competition with the Eagles. So Friday night,
you're going to watch a preseason week 1 NFL game?
He'll probably play 2 series, so yeah.
Really?
I'll
curious. Watch highlights. Now, the thing is, I will seek out the highlights to see it. I will not make it a point.
I want to see how it looks because, look, the Eagles weren't in need of a quarterback, right? I did not think he was a top 10 draft pick. I don't believe he was a 5th-round draft pick.
I would have taken him in the 5th.
No, what I'm saying is I don't believe he should have fallen to the 5th round.
I agree with you.
So I'm curious. Like, this is a storyline where I go, all right, dude, this is your chance to prove a lot of people wrong. Because Joe Flacco's not your future. Pickett's hurt right now. Gabriel's hurt right now. They just brought somebody else in recently. But, like, Shedeur Sanders has an opportunity. I don't know if it's to win a starting job, but he has an opportunity to right away prove a lot of people wrong.
I don't know you can prove anybody wrong in week 1. Week 1 of a preseason game against Scarbinis?
No, but if he plays well, he gets more. It's the first step towards doing that. By the way, the
Scarbinis of the Panthers might be the actual starters.
Fair point.
Because
I don't know if they're going to play. If you're talking about the Panthers backups, I'm going to learn nothing.
Panthers backups could be better than starters for all we know. No, I'm not learning anything, but I kind of am rooting for the kid because I don't think he should have been drafted in the 5th round. Yeah. Do I think a lot of it was his own doing and his family's doing?
And it was.
Absolutely.
5th round though? That was a joke.
I thought that was crazy.
That's how toxic he made his brand.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And Dad, I'm thanks a lot, Dad.
But I'm watching it.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but still, hey, play football, win a job. We'll round out with this.
How much do these teams have to actually evaluate the person and whether or not they can handle a major sports town?
So we talked about that earlier. That's one of the reasons that I'm so annoyed with the Phillies' current outfield situation, because Harrison Bader was a guy who was in the division for the New York Mets, played in this type of market, this type of environment. That's why I liked him so much ahead of the trade deadline. And I wonder if the Phillies are completely missing that and if they don't evaluate it. It doesn't seem like they do. And another guy might be, and Trey's had a great year. Trey is a guy we talked about not really fitting the vibe of the city at points. I wonder if the Phillies think about that enough.
They may not. They may not.
I have no idea why they thought $300 million shortstop they needed. I just don't.
I was fine with it.
Yeah, I'm not
going to do revisionist history. I was totally fine with it.
No, I mean it's.
No. He's got to heat back up though. He's in a real bad way right now. His average has dropped 20 points.
I think if you had went with one of the cheaper options at shortstop, you could have had just as much as far as production, as far as producing runs. You could have had more than that. You could have had better defense. And you could have had $100 million more that you could have spent so you wouldn't have an inadequate outfield.
Sure, but
sure.
1 month ago, we were talking about how Trey Turner's been well worth the contract this year.
No, well, I mean,
a month
as far
ago.
as playing
just
a month.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, well, there haven't been enough of those months. He hasn't given us that.
He was good last year. We keep on disagreeing with this. He had a horrible playoff, but he was very good last year. He got hurt, but he was good last year. He had what? 3 bad weeks last year? He had a good year last year, and he's had a good year this year until the last couple of weeks, and that's why the averages dropped. Now, coming up next, we had the YouTube comment about the Alvarado stuff. We'll discuss this coming up next. I am curious, what is the reaction to both Max Kepler and Jose Alvarado the next time they take the field? When Alec Boehm said it, I bleep it, hate it here, he got a standing ovation. What about these two guys? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another shutout win for the Phils. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies won again last night, taking down the Orioles via the shutout, 5-0. It's their second time in as many series that they've shut out their opponents. So the Phillies pitching's been getting the job done lately. Taijuan Walker, 6 shutout innings on the mound, and the Phillies bullpen pretty darn good from there. The offense also had some unlikely standouts. Brandon Marsh and Max Kepler both went 2 for 4 with home runs in the game, and Kepler talked afterwards about the struggles he's going through this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it, too, if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
And it's always a good day when the Mets lose. That's what they did yesterday to the Guardians. So the Phils are up 2.5 in the East. Game 3 against the Orioles today at 12:35 p.m. Rangers Suarez on the mound against Trevor Rogers as the Phils go for the sweep. Eagles are back in action today at camp, and they're getting ready for their first preseason game just a day away. They'll play the Bengals tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. This update is brought to you by Erie Insurance, celebrating 100 years of protecting your family's most priceless moments then, now, always. Erie Insurance. ErieInsurance.com. That's ErieInsurance.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. Haley trying to explain that ChatGPT and AI conversations are okay. They're not.
No.
If you need to talk to somebody about problems, talk to somebody, a person,
Someone you love.
not a computer. She did say Connor probably will try the Sydney Sweeney one now.
Nah. Why are you giving me that look?
I don't know.
I don't text you guys back. You think I'm texting AI Sydney Sweeney?
You text back.
I would not be surprised.
You text back a lot better than Pop-Up does over here.
Oh, yeah. John,
that's fair.
Yeah, John texted me yesterday.
Between, I do not know who is older, my brother or Andrew.
Yeah.
Like when you send them a message.
But I
Like,
responded
who I
to
get
your
back.
text in person this morning.
That is nice, Pop-Up.
That's
I
not how
appreciate
texts
that.
work.
That's not what it is about.
Here's what we'll start doing. Text me something the night before, and I'll get back to you in person.
I mean, I'll send you something.
Because I like human-to-human interaction.
I'll send an email. I'll
This is
send
why
a
this
text.
AI
I'll send
stuff
something.
is nonsense.
It's crazy talk. It's
All right.
unbelievable.
Speaking of human-to-human interaction.
Yes.
So I'm curious with how we will react as humans to Max Kepler and Jose Alvarado. So let's once again play what Max Kepler had to say after the game yesterday. So yesterday, kudos to you, applause, standing O, 2 for 4, home run, double, 2 ribbies driven in by Max Kepler yesterday, raising his batting average to a whopping 204 because he's been having a very bad season. Now, earlier in the year when he sat back-to-back games because he could not touch a left-handed pitcher, he voiced his frustration, saying that he was told he was the starting left fielder and he's disappointed with his playing time, even though he has started more games than any other outfielder on this Phillies team other than Nick Castellanos. And I question that kind of response.
Yeah.
Not understanding the situation. So yesterday, he has the nice day. The reporters surround him in the locker room, and this is what he had to say after the game.
To be honest, it does get to me. I'm an overthinker, even before I started playing this game. So I try and analyze, what I did right or wrong in the past, and what's to come in the future, and it takes away from the present. And I have to, remind myself or have the people that, my support team remind me that I'm in a beautiful place and a beautiful opportunity, and to just enjoy the moment, regardless of, rough patches or not.
I love that he says his support team and everything like that he's got one. Not a ChatGPT. But I really wish, I wish today I could have gone by, I could have brought it with me and gone by his locker and given him my mom's refrigerator magnet. Because my mom had a refrigerator magnet that she bought on a trip for me.
Okay.
Because she wanted me to see it when I would go to her house. And it was, keep your feet firmly planted in today. Because you know how kind of a planner I am.
Mm-hmm.
You work with me in very close quarters. I'm always planning. I'm always talking about what's ahead. I'm always thinking ahead. And she'd be like, what about today?
Right.
Are you enjoying today? Are you what's about today? And my mom would always be concerned about that with me. And so she bought this, and it was on her fridge so I would see it.
Right.
And when she was dying, she literally left refrigerator magnets that set aside. I think Max could use that message, is that being today, and obviously he's getting to that. And it took me, by the way, to Max Kepler's age to figure that out.
Right.
And I'm glad that it seems like he's figuring it out.
Well.
But one of the things he's got to figure out is there's a reason why people are reacting the way that they do.
Right. And that's when we going back to what we started the show with about understanding it. I don't, obviously there's nasty people on social media, but
totally,
for the most part, people don't hate Max Kepler, the human being. And when I get upset with Max Kepler being in the starting lineup, I'm upset with Rob Thompson and Dave Dombrowski.
Dave Dombrowski most of all.
Yeah.
Then Rob Thompson.
Right. It's not, Max Kepler's fault. What I have a problem with Kepler is the comments that he made earlier this year. Now, I'm curious because we saw Alec Boehm a few years ago drop the I bleep and ate it here, but he at least then held himself accountable post-game saying, look, I was having a rough game. I said what I said. My bad. And he got a standing ovation when he came in as a pinch hitter the very next game.
This isn't that.
This is not that. But when a guy bears his soul, does he get any sort of different reaction? Let's say he's in the lineup today, right?
God forbid.
Does he get any sort of reaction? Now, I would applaud him for the good game he had yesterday.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm not going to be like, let me give a loud round of applause because he has been suffering from the booze.
Thing is, I would applaud every Philly. If I'm going to a game, if I'm in the game in the stands, I applaud every single Philly because I want the Phillies to win.
Yeah, but he hears the booze when his name gets announced in the starting lineup.
And that to me, you go to a game to boo a Philly.
But are you booing the player when he's announced because it's the player, or are you booing management?
No, you're booing the player. If you boo somebody, ladies and gentlemen, Max Kepler, don't tell me you're booing somebody else when you boo Max Kepler. If you boo, and by the way, if you're near me, you're sitting near me and everything, I'm literally looking at you like, what kind of a person are you?
Sure.
Like, what are you doing? Now, if Max Kepler boots a ball, or has a horrendous play, and you boo the play, I got no problem. I got no problem with that. But booing an individual when their name is announced, wow. That's to me, that's a very empty life.
Okay.
It's a very empty, that's an empty existence.
I've done that before. I don't look at that the same way. I think it's an accumulation of the quality of play over a period of time.
So like the opening, they're announcing somebody as the starting line. Today's starting lineup. Here's Dan Baker giving you today's starting lineup, and they announce Max Kepler, and you boo it.
Yeah, if a guy stinks, I don't want him playing for my baseball team or football, hockey, basketball. Like, there have been times where there have been bad players in this town that, I don't know, deserve is a weird way to say it.
I got you.
I don't take it the same way as you. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just I don't see it that way.
All right, now let's move on to Jose Alvarado. Do we have the audio?
Yeah, we do.
All right, so Jose Alvarado spoke to the members of the media yesterday. When is he eligible to return?
19th.
It's the 19th. Yeah, it's this month. Here was Jose Alvarado yesterday talking about. He was there yesterday because they did the team photo. So here was Alvarado yesterday with the members of the media.
Did you watch or follow the Phillies over the last 3 months?
A lot. I watch my team every day.
Was that hard for you to watch?
Yeah, it's hard because a couple moments I say to my family, this is my time, but, that happened. But I flood the toilet. That's it. I'm here.
So
what did he say to his family?
He flushed the toilet.
This is my time.
It's like what Jalen does.
No, it's not your time. Should have been your time is what he should have said to his family.
Right.
This should be my time, but I failed my family. I failed my teammates. But because I failed them, I'm not there. That should have been what he's saying. It isn't your time.
So in his post on Instagram yesterday, May 18th was a very difficult day for me. That day, MLB announced the positive result of a doping test conducted in March of 2025. I'm fully aware that using prohibited substances is wrong, and I would never intend to do so because I've always had great respect for the game, my organization, my teammates, and the fans, all of whom I want to offer my sincere apologies. I made a mistake, and therefore I've faced the consequences set forth by Major League Baseball. Going forward, my focus is on working hard to help the team win, and then blah, 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 all more apologies. So here's my question.
He's not fully aware, by the way.
When he
obviously wasn't fully aware, right, because there's a very easy way to know whether you put something in your body or not.
Right.
It's a simple process. He ignored it. There's a reason he ignored it.
When he returns, what is the reaction for Alvarado? Because when we had Joseph Brennan ask why we hadn't addressed it yet, because I don't really care that he's sorry.
I don't either.
He's back August 19th through the stretch run in September, and you need him, right? They need him. But he's not around for the playoffs.
Yes. He's going to help you get to the playoffs, though, hopefully.
You hope.
No, hopefully he's going to be a big part of it.
But I'm not,
yay, Jose! Welcome back, buddy.
I'm still very disappointed in Jose. I'm angry with Jose Alvarado. I still remember when we did the show, we had people wondering why we talked 4 hours on it. Because he's such a big part of your bullpen in a World Series or bust season.
Like what?
And he's not available now for the playoffs.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it also feels weird to boo him at this point, though. Not that we're not mad at him, but it's almost like it's done. You're not really part of this.
But it's not done.
I would be
But it's not done because he comes back for a month and a half, and then he's once again gone.
No, I got you. The indifference, Johnny, I think you're absolutely right.
I'm indifferent.
I don't know how a crowd expresses that vocally.
You just don't. There's indifference. I've heard that many times where you go, hey, when Dan Baker does the announcements today.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Schwarber. He's doing it's Bryce Harper. Yeah. Bryson Stott.
Yeah.
People have had enough of the Bryson Stott thing, and though they like Bryson, they won't boo Bryson, but he'll get a very subdued.
Yeah.
I think that's how they do.
I just can't imagine.
But don't boo Jose Alvarado. We want him to do well.
I just can't imagine there's not a reaction. This is one where I'm totally perplexed as to what it's going to be.
I wonder what it'll be like August 20th. Let's say August 20th. It's his first game. Yeah, but can you blame anyone for booing? He legitimately hurt this team's chances of winning a World Series.
He did.
Because imagine if he was the 8th inning guy and not Matt Strahm or not Ryan Kerkering, and then Strahm and Kerkering are your 7th inning guys or your 6th inning guys.
And then you're trading for Duran, and you are absolutely in.
You have maybe the best bullpen in baseball.
Yes.
So I'm really interested, and I would like people to chime in on this at 610-632-0975. What will your reaction be to Jose Alvarado entering a game for the first time since the PED use, the suspension, where, again, he is not eligible for the playoffs? So he'll come back August 20th, but he's not going to be pitching in October. Speaking of pitching late in games, Connor Thomas said something completely ridiculous yesterday. It's this morning. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I'm Connor Thomas and the Eagles. Well, their training camp is continuing and preseason, everything of that nature. But the actual game, well, we're just a day away from them getting into preseason game action. They will take on the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field for the first of 3 preseason games. And we know the strategy for the Birds in past seasons under head coach Nick Sirianni has been that the starters, they're not seeing a lot of action. Jalen Hurts was asked about playing in the preseason yesterday.
Well, I think anytime I have the opportunity to play, I'd relish in it and take advantage of it. And so if coach makes that decision, I will.
Now, playing the Super Bowl MVP in the first preseason game may not be the way the Eagles want to go about this, but we'll keep an eye out to see who is available and who's out on the field when the Birds take a true game field, or at least a preseason game field for the first time. We'll also be looking at a new addition that the Eagles made and see what he's going to be able to do, because they traded for Jacorian Bennett to add some depth to the cornerback position earlier this week. Nick Sirianni also talked about that trade.
We thought that was an opportunity to add some depth at corner. Feel good about our depth. Obviously, we'll miss Book and wish him the best, and we feel good about our depth at defensive tackle, but just a way to add some depth there at corner.
That should tell you everything you need to know about the current cornerback battle in camp, so we'll be watching closely when the Birds take the field at the Link tomorrow night. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Bowe, Bill Colarulo.
All right, we'll get to our text line here momentarily. I'm curious, again, the reaction to when Alvarado returns from Phillies fans. I saw Mopar on our YouTube chat.
He's not on the boat today?
I guess not.
Beautiful day to be on the boat.
But he said, I saw two comments. One of them was, he made a mistake. Move on already.
A mistake?
Or something to the extent. Oh,
Really?
sorry. Jesus, the guy messed up. Let it go.
Oh, okay.
I can't let it go when he is a big part of this team.
So,
where their biggest flaw prior to the Duran trade was the bullpen.
So 26 other guys in the locker room that all are professional athletes fighting for a championship, that's their profession. They get so many bites at the apple to try and go win a World Series.
Yeah.
Executives win or lose their jobs based on it. They're supposed to, just get over it. The guy screwed the franchise over, screwed his teammates over. Just get over it. And he didn't make a mistake. It is as simple as saying, I'm going to put a foreign substance in my body. Here, I'm going to take a picture of the label. Click. I'm going to send said picture to the app. Upload it to the Players Association. Can do that. Upload it in. It is then approved or disapproved. This isn't hard. It's not hard. It's not a mistake. The mistake is saying, oh, yeah, I could just do something. And there's a reason why you do that. Because you know you're cutting corners. You know you're doing something you're not supposed to do, and you're hoping you're not going to be caught.
He followed up by
not
saying,
a mistake.
If you think Alvarado was the answer to winning the World Series, you don't know what you're talking about. Nobody was saying that Alvarado is the answer to winning the World Series, but Alvarado is better than Max Lazar. He's better than Jordan Romano. He's better than Matt Strahm. He's better than Orion Kerkering.
So he's the best player in a bullpen for a first-place team.
Yes, until they acquired Duran, yep.
Right. So then he would have been, one. Clearly, Duran would have been number one. And then you would have had this other really, really good guy in your bullpen. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
The area of the team that we are most concerned about. So I can't just...
It doesn't make any sense.
Let it go.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, speaking of Duran.
And by the way, to Mopar or to others, his teammates didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
His teammates were on the record, and you can look at the comments. When it happened, he snuck out like a thief in the night and didn't speak to teammates about what happened. This was their first explanation, many of them in person, about what happened. He cleaned out his locker after guys had left. There's a reason you do that, too.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to face people to explain what you were doing.
Right. And again, if this was Marlins, Nationals, all right.
All right. We're not in the running for a World Series.
This is World Series or bust.
Oh, my gosh. They have the second best odds to win the World Series.
Yeah.
And he's one of your 8, 9 best players?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously? Come on. Come on.
He just followed up saying, let it go. Stop complaining. It's over.
My gosh.
Can't do anything about it. You're right. You can't do anything about it.
No, you can't do anything about it.
But he will be back on August 19th, which is why.
And I don't want him booed, by the way.
Which is why I'm asking the question, what is the reaction when he comes back? Because my reaction isn't, oh, it happened, let it go.
No, I don't want him to get booed. But see, I don't
want him to get booed,
now, the
but
thing is,
I'm not going, yeah,
now the weird,
hefty lefty.
Now
I'm
the weird
not doing that.
No, I'm not.
Like Brendan Petrelli. I'm not going to be doing that when he comes out screaming, let's go hefty lefty.
Now, the one thing is, though, is that I'll be Team Mopar that night.
Sure.
I'll be like, let's go on and find a way to celebrate. I'll root for him to pitch his backside off for this team and then say good riddance at the end of the year.
And again, we're using him until his backside may fall off. Sorry.
We do have a lot of people on the text line saying they would applaud Alvarado because you do not make the Duran trade unless he gets suspended.
Yeah, all right. Well, come on. That's...
Oh, my God.
We've gotten 7 of those texts in a row.
All right, sure. We can have fun with that. But no. He didn't fall for the team so that we could get Duran. Now, speaking of Duran, you said something this morning that I think is completely stupid, but I have to be careful saying that because I know a lot of people agree with you. There were people that were bummed out that the game was no longer a safe situation last night and they couldn't see Duran.
Correct.
And I think that's just dumb. I think that's silly.
Yeah.
I think it's silly.
No,
the thing is, though,
but
it's harmless. It's harmless.
Now, I want if my team can win 10-0 every night, and I don't see Duran. That's great.
Yeah, I understand, but it's harmless.
Save my bullpen arms.
I understand, but it was harmless. They were just fans.
No, but Connor agreed this morning. You were like, I wouldn't mind seeing.
No, when Brandon Marsh hit that home run last night to make it 5-0 instead of 4-0, I knew it was Max Lazar, and I was kind of like, oh.
Well, I
wish I would have seen that.
See, I don't believe he would have pitched at 4 because it wasn't a save either.
Yeah,
I don't believe they would have pitched.
The fact that you had that reaction, I roll my eyes. Like, I'm sorry.
Here's
eyes.
what I'll tell you.
Because I need Duran's arm as fresh can be come playoff time. And so if I can win 5-0 against the Orioles and Max Lazar can eat up an inning, that's beautiful.
Here's what I'll tell you. By like August 12th, that's not the feeling anymore, I don't think. In like a week.
Because people are very, very excited to see him.
Sure.
Right.
I've heard people talking about the fact is, man, what if he gets a save today?
Yeah, like how does a day game work
How
with
does
the
a day game work with the entrance? Like, I've heard people obsessing on that. I mean, they're this excited about the guy, and I think that's freaking awesome.
You've got two of the coolest things in baseball happening right now in this city with what Kyle Schwarber's doing at the plate and with what Joan Duran is doing out of the bullpen with that entrance and throwing 103.
Like, I think it's awesome.
I want to see Schwarber hit a home run as long as it continues to impact the game. Duran, I roll my eyes at people being like, damn, Marsh hit that home run. I roll my eyes.
They just want to see something cool.
It's completely harmless, though. I mean, don't roll your eyes at it. That's
I roll my
harmless.
eyes at it.
Hey, the way it looks right now, you win the game either way.
You know when you should have rolled your eyes?
When?
And I wasn't here for it. When the manager literally was not put him in a game where Christopher Sanchez should have completed the game and helped his status to try to win a Cy Young, which he wants to do, by the way.
I thought you didn't care about individual awards.
What he wants to. I don't. What he wants to do.
I like that move.
I'll just say Skeens ain't losing.
It was so dumb.
Skeens isn't losing it unless he blows up.
So dumb.
Skeens isn't going to lose it. All right, coming up next, we've been talking about position battles at camp for the Eagles. Is there a position battle not on the everyday field for the Phillies? The rotation comes into question. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils go for the sweep. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies, they won again last night, and it was another shutout, a 5-0 victory. Taijuan Walker went 6 strong innings in his start. The Phillies bullpen locked things down from there, and the offense had some unlikely standouts. Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler both went 2 for 4 with home runs in the game. Kepler talked after the game, because we all know it hasn't been a great season for him. That may even be an understatement. He talked about dealing with the adversity that he has this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it, too, if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
And a lot of Phillies fans love that he said that. They also love that he was right. The Mets fell to the Guardians last night, so the Phils are up 2.5 games in the NL East. Game 3 against the Orioles is at 12:35 p.m. And yes, the Phillies are going for the sweep with Ranger Suarez on the mound, facing off against Trevor Rogers. The Eagles back in action today at camp, but no media. It's closed off to media today. They're just a day away from their first preseason game. They will play the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field, for our first time to see them on the field in game action. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Craft brews and delicious food at Trouble's End Brewing, Montgomery County's go-to craft brew pub. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals. We have our 5 best minutes of Schefty coming up around 9:10.
By the way, I want to say one thing. Andrew is a big fan of the show, not you.
I hate the show.
Andrew's a big fan of the show. And Andrew said, he goes, I was surprised. He goes, I thought you were a little aggressive with Schefty regarding the ESPN thing. I said, I respectfully don't think I was. And Schefty and I are fine. I can assure you that.
Yeah.
But
you guys have a long relationship.
Exactly. And more importantly, but I think the question's got to be asked about ESPN and the NFL being in bed
he
together.
said right away.
He was fine with it.
He said he saw it all over social media.
He understands.
He understands.
The question's got to be asked, and it's a question that's got to be asked.
The question's asked of Shams Charania all the time before he joined ESPN when he was a part of the FanDuel network. The question was asked, how is the number 1 insider or number 2, depending on how you viewed him versus Woj, how is an insider a part of the FanDuel network?
Right.
Because this guy has information that other people don't, and it's via a gambling company. So I think questions, they're always fair to be asked.
It's all right to ask.
All right, you have a question about the return of Aaron Nola.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Nola's right around the corner.
Yes, August 15th, we think.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and I don't think there's any delays in the Aaron Nola situation right now.
No, he pitched fairly well in his AAA start.
But what's going to happen with the starting rotation? Now, the easy answer is you move Nola into 5th starter position.
Right. And again, Painter was slotted in. He had a horrible outing yesterday. We don't know.
Painter is, by the way, if last year, if you were one of those people who wrote off Mick Abel as a top prospect because of his performance in AAA last year, I don't want you to look at the numbers this year for Andrew Painter.
I also believe the Phillies wrote off Mick Abel.
Because if that's what you did,
they dropped him in their rankings.
Yeah.
To like 10.
Well, if that's what you did, then it'll be interesting to see how they spin what's happened this year with Andrew Painter.
You know me with prospects. I don't give.
I know you.
I don't give a damn how well or how poorly they're playing.
You're the Les Snead of baseball. Yeah, you're like F these prospects.
Painter can have the best. He can throw a complete game shutout tomorrow. I don't care.
Because all the people who were like, look what happened with Abel. He couldn't get anybody out of the AAA. Yeah, well, don't look at Andrew Painter then. But the easy answer is put Aaron Nola back into the starting rotation. But if I tell you that Taijuan Walker, and there's a lot of data to it. There's a lot of data. We're talking plenty of starts. He's a better starter this year than Aaron Nola this year.
Right.
But long run, that terrible contract that you've got 6 more years on, for 7 more years on, or whatever it is, for Aaron Nola, what do you do?
Well,
what do you do? Because we've already seen that Walker out of the bullpen is a complete crapshoot. But Walker in the starting rotation, by the way, now, he's in the top. He's in the top. Wow. 7. He's in of all the teams in baseball, he's one of the 7 best 5th starters.
All right, so you're saying he's one of the 7 best 5th starters.
Correct.
All right.
Of all the teams in baseball.
All right, so he is a 5th starter, period.
That is correct.
Aaron Nola has the upside of being a 2 still. And if my upside number 2 starter is my 5th starter, I'm going to roll with him. Taijuan Walker, to his credit, you know me, credit where credit's due, guy.
I think so.
I have not heard many complaints out of him about the constant changing of roles. I think he's happy to be on a major league roster.
He didn't like the bullpen, though. Now, when he went to the bullpen, he did sort of voice that
he said he wanted to
start. He wanted
to start.
No, he didn't want to go back and forth. And the Phillies themselves said they didn't want him to go back and forth. And yet, as you always point out, they say one thing and do the opposite.
And they do.
Nola gets slotted in Taijuan Walker because Taijuan Walker is not a part of any of my postseason plans. He just isn't because I don't trust him out of the pen. And what game would he start in when it comes to the playoffs?
Oh, no. That is correct.
Aaron Nola takes a spot, and I don't really think twice about it. Now, we'll see who Nola is. There's a chance, a legitimate chance that even if Nola takes over Walker, is Nola a lock to start in a playoff game right now?
No.
So
because here's what I'm going to say to you is that there's 49 games left.
Right.
And of the 5th starter, looking at the calendar, you're probably going to use the 5th starter minimum 6 times, maybe 7.
Okay.
So you're saying if Nola comes back, you're going to go, they're all Nolas? Or how short is your leash on Nola?
No, you give him a couple starts to work through for sure.
Okay, so like you give him a couple
2 to
because
3, yeah.
you've already seen a guy, though, who can give you, he's one of the better 5th starters in baseball and gives the team a chance to win most of the time.
Sure, but he's not a part of my plan. So
I understand.
He goes to the pen, and Nola goes to 5, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other reason it's a no-brainer is because Nola will not throw out at the pen. Right, that's not an option. So you have nowhere else to put him.
And I don't want Nola out of the pen.
It just makes no sense. You have to do that, and you have to take the upside. And I think you give him till probably the second week of September. And at that point, it's kind of hey, we're gearing up for the postseason. So if you're not getting it done, Walker goes back to 5. Well, I don't know what you do with Nola, and then you gear up the 4 guys you're going to throw.
Well, I was just thinking, all right, Walker goes back to 5, and then it's he's not pitching in the postseason anyway.
Right. So. You just got to find ways to win
I'm just saying,
games.
if it comes down to a tight race, the 5th starter spots, let's say you have to use them 6 times or 7 times. The 5th starter spots end up mattering.
Sure.
And
yeah, absolutely.
And so are you experimenting with, hey, Aaron, just work it out. Just get comfortable. Just work it out.
First couple starts for sure, you're going to let him just get comfortable.
So to me, the leash is literally a couple starts.
Okay.
It's a couple. And that doesn't mean the proverbial 3.
You're saying 2.
Yeah. That's it.
You got
I can wait till I'm not
3.
screwing up this season for a guy because I've already seen with Walker. I can get a guy who gives me pretty much a quality start ERA and has been one of the most reliable 5th starters in all of baseball.
I'll tell you, with this pitching staff, the 5th starter should not screw up this season unless something goes terribly wrong with somebody else.
Well, and here's the other thing. You're going to give Nola extra chances because then you can get creative with the either Luzardo or Suarez goes to the pen thing or the piggyback stuff.
Right. Well, that's what I'm wondering.
If Nola, let's say Nola is cooked, right? God
let's hope not with that contract. Joel Embiid hopes he's not cooked.
Then Nola's not a part of your postseason plans. Walker's not a part of your postseason plans. Now you have one less bullpen arm because you're not sending one of those guys in. Like the whole bullpen plan where one of the starters goes in kind of relies on who Aaron Nola is.
See, I see Walker if he's in, as far as you're talking postseason plans, he is the
Syndergaard 3 innings.
He is the guy not to start, but he's the guy that is the piggyback guy. If God forbid you do start a Luzardo in a game 4 of a 7-game series, you're starting Luzardo. He's the guy who is the piggyback that gives you the emergency 3 or 4 innings.
Okay.
That's how I'm looking at him as nothing more than that. But that is the best case scenario.
And this may be unfair as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Bees Media Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. I would be terrified if Taijuan Walker entered a playoff game.
I wouldn't be.
I would be.
I would not be. Because not in that role that I just defined, I would not be.
Because there are going to be situations with this team. We know they're hot and cold, but there's going to be a postseason game, if and when they're in the postseason, we all believe they are, where they're up 5 or 6 runs. Like Schwarber gets hot, Harper gets hot, they just hit those home run streaks. You can throw Walker in a 4-run playoff.
And you save the bullpen.
I trust him more than Max Lazar.
So do I.
Sure.
So do I. So, I mean, that's where I feel totally fine if he pitches in a postseason game. It's got to be strategic.
Yes.
But to me, I would feel great with that and say, hey, go get me 3 innings and save the bullpen.
Right. When it comes, depending on the situation.
Or
of the
the mop-up game. They're getting clubbed.
Right, yeah, eat those innings.
Eat the innings, go eat it, and he'd be fine with that.
All right, yeah, fair. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
So we have a lot of people checking in on the Max Kepler conversation still, which was our main lead-in for the day, and talking about how they're going to react to this going forward. So this texter checks in. I don't know if I buy this from John from Audubon. Players do not need to be praised for doing their job, but absolutely deserve to be criticized when they do not. Kepler needs to understand that.
No, guys should be
praised. No, but the praised is the cheer.
Yeah, right.
The praised is the cheer, and they absolutely do need that, deserve that, and they deserve the to be able to hear about it.
Right. Now, the praise is also if a guy goes in a rut, like if Harper goes 0 for his next 15, or let's say Schwarber goes 0 for his next 15. I'm not panicking over Kyle Schwarber. if Max Kepler goes 0 for his next 15, I go, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why the guy can't be in the lineup. So the praise is also, sort of what you have done for the team over the last couple of seasons or this season, because Kepler's just been here for a little bit. That's part of praise, is I'm either going to be really upset that you're in the lineup or not, despite your struggles.
Yeah, well, a lot of people will have a short leash with, I know from that building. I can hear it when you hear the Schwarber announcement, the Harper announcement, you can hear the difference of the Trey Turner announcement.
Yeah.
There's a total difference in energy. And I think that a lot of people are
especially with the struggles of late.
Yes. Well, no, I think even at all times, there's a little bit of an energy difference.
Yeah, it's also the personality part of it, too.
Absolutely.
Like Schwarber and Harper are more easily likable, I think, just naturally.
What else we got on the text line? As I pull up what Turner's doing recently.
We also have a check-in on that whole conversation about evaluating the players and their makeup and how they play in a city. Joe the Cynic says, I don't really care what coaches or GMs say. I worry about what they do with the Phillies, and their decision-making comment is beyond head-scratching, both with the Kepler thing and for the way that they bring in players.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's why
I don't disagree with that.
The one thing with Kepler, again, I know this is hard because I imagine he's not listening to sports talk radio all that much. Like,
really?
Maybe he does. I don't know.
See, to me, it sounds like he does.
But
his comments sound like he does.
My reaction to Kepler being in the lineup is not vitriol toward him. It's vitriol toward Rob Thompson and Dave Dombrowski and this platoon that I don't think is a good idea. Like, at all. That could just be me.
No, it's not you. It's everybody. It's everybody. But I don't think anybody likes it.
Here's what I will say. In this moment, right now, today, it's worked so far.
Bader better play. Bader better play today.
By the way, I just picked up just clicked a random amount of games. Last 18 games, Trey Turner is 17 for 75. It's a 227 batting average.
Yeah, he's in slump.
And it's got to turn around pretty
Maybe
quickly.
a standing ovation would help.
All right, coming up next, we have our 5 best minutes of Adam Schefter. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
Ray Dunn is here, everybody. Mike Missanelli show comes your way at 10 o'clock.
He's a breath of sunshine.
He is. Ray texted me a point that we said on the air, like at the exact same moment.
What was the point?
If Nola's not good, then your bullpen, potential Luzardo or something, does not necessarily work for you. Just great minds think alike.
I heard Ray and Mike have been clicking big time.
Hell yeah,
They've just been really vibing, doing a good job. I was hearing them yesterday, and Mike asked the question to Ray, would it surprise you, Ray, if Joel Embiid just decided to retire today and walked away? And I'm screaming at my radio going, Mike Missanelli, do you think that Joel Embiid is going to do the altruistic thing and say, yeah, I'm going to take the retirement settlement now before that big thing kicks in and just walk away from that money? Yeah, I'm going to do what's best for the fan base, for everything. No,
unless like,
of course he's not.
Unless pride comes into play.
Of course he's not.
That's really it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, of course he's not.
Yeah, he's going to take the money. And
of course he's not. He's not walking away retiring. This thing's going to be a whole nother year.
Hey.
And then we'll probably be talking about this next year at this time. We're going to give it a go.
I would too.
But
I'm not letting that money go out the door.
No, you can still get some of the money and do a retirement, an injury settlement where you wouldn't take all of the money, but you'd say, I can't come to work. I can't do the job. So let's come to a settlement.
Right. If he did, I don't think it would be altruism, though. I think it would be I just can't do this anymore.
Well, do you think he can do it now?
They're going to give it a go. At least another year, Johnny.
Who didn't know that? Who didn't know that?
They're going to give it a go.
They are. And people are going to lap it up.
Earlier today, Adam Schefter joined us, as he does every single Wednesday at 7:55. We now play the 5 best minutes of it. From ESPN, our man Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Well, there's a lot going on all over the NFL. We got smelling salts. We got mergers. We got Micah Parsons. So we'll get to it all. But I do want to start here locally. First, the Eagles trading for Jacorian Bennett the other day, trading away Thomas Booker. We know that you have previous ties with Vic Fangio. How much in terms of Vic Fangio and his power with the Eagles does this scream this is who he wanted, considering there's a cornerback battle right now that nobody really feels totally comfortable with in training camp?
Well, Vic doesn't always get what he wants. It's not exactly how it works. There's obviously a group of people that want a lot of different things, and sometimes they want different things, and sometimes they don't. So I don't know exactly how the battle for Jacorian Bennett came down, or any agreements or disagreements. I really don't know any of the backstory there, other than I know that they were looking for more help at that position. Obviously, parted ways with a player where they're very deep, and who knows if ultimately in the end he might have even made the roster. You don't even know that, because they're so deep at that spot right now. And being so deep there enabled them to acquire a player that I think they have some interest in, that they're curious about, at a spot where they need more help in the defensive line.
Do you believe that he was on their board when, since he went so close to Keely Ringo, a guy that they have on him, and went one pick, Keely Ringo went one pick after him? I wonder if they were interested in him at that draft time.
It's hard to say that. I don't know that yet. Again, we're talking about a backup cornerback. I haven't spent all that much time on it, in light of some of these other things that you mentioned that are going on.
Yeah, there are a lot of things going on. Let's start with the George Kittle out of nowhere airing of a grievance yesterday, talking about the smelling salts and the use of ammonia being banned. Now, I understand there's reasoning behind it, because they don't want people masking concussions with it. But if you could,
and it's bad for your brain.
If you could, can you speak more on the NFL's decision to ban the smelling salt?
They believe that the products aren't safe. They're not proven to be safe. And I think the big thing is they think that it could mask signs of a concussion. Now, I don't know, but the FDA issued similar warnings in 2024, and I think the league is probably taking its cue from the FDA. And obviously you saw how George Kittle felt about it, was not happy about it. I'm sure there are other players who are not happy about it, but the league is trying, certainly publicly, who knows, probably, but they're trying to make an effort to handle the troubling concussion issue as best as it can. If this is a way that masks the symptoms of a concussion, then the league is trying to outlaw that from the game.
The players say all the time that the league didn't do enough. In fact, they've come out and said, the league didn't do enough to protect us against brain injuries, protect us against things like this. Then there's documented evidence that these are some things you probably don't want to be doing. And then players come out against it. I'm always scratching my head saying maybe the NFLPA should say, hey, guys, let's have one message on this instead of all these conflicting messages.
Right now, the NFLPA's got its own problems that are a lot deeper than smelling salts.
Yes, they are.
What about the relationship between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones? I saw your tweet yesterday that since Parsons issued the trade request, he has not spoken to Jerry Jones. I know Jerry is Jerry, and he's still talking to the media. What's going on between both parties here?
A lot of nothing right now. I mean, there's a lot, and then there's nothing. And what I mean by that is there's been no dialogue between the two sides in terms of a contract in months. Zero. You have people coming out and saying things. So what Micah said, there was a lot there. What Jerry said, there was a lot there. What's going on between the two sides in trying to produce an agreement, there's nothing there right now. So from Micah's standpoint, he feels like he wants to be traded. He's not happy. And Micah's going to have some decisions to make ahead of that Thursday night opener against the Eagles. You heard Jerry yesterday say he didn't know that Micah Parsons would be playing in that game. Doesn't know. Micah Parsons, his greatest leverage, we have to see how this would break down, would be withholding services. His back could be bothering him that week. His hamstring could be tight. His ankle could be sore, right? He could have a head cold. He could have a lot of things that prevent him from playing.
We're also looking at week 3 for the Eagles right now because of the Matthew Stafford story. And obviously that's a big story to watch too, is what are you hearing on Matt Stafford and his back?
My understanding is that they had a game today, he'd be playing. That they're just being smart and careful and maintenance. He'll be playing week 1.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, Shefty. Well, we appreciate the time as always.
Thanks, Adam,
man.
and thanks for being candid.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you again next week as we get closer and closer.
We got a little short segment here today, shorter than normal.
Oh, no.
I didn't think it was short at all.
I didn't think it was short either.
We hit the break on time.
Well, that one was because we cut it down to 5, but
the
interview.
That's a little different.
He was all of this earlier. I was kind of confused by that. Anyways, there was our 5 best minutes.
He sent a text and he goes, "We weren't shorter today."
No.
And I said, time flies.
Did he call in a minute late? Like, is that what it was?
No, he was on time. You know what that is? That's training camp, preseason brain, taking over.
There you go.
Yeah, he
busy.
also had a very busy week. I mean, there was a lot of news coming out this week, and it's only Wednesday. All right, coming up next, speaking of the NFL, what are the biggest storylines heading into the 2025 NFL season league-wide? One writer put together their top 10. We'll see if we agree with them, and if not, if there's some that are missing, we'll give our answers to add to the conversation.
Sounds good.
It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils shut out the O's. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies won again last night. Their 3rd straight victory. They took down the Orioles via a shutout, 5-0. And Taijuan Walker, he went 6 strong innings in his start. The Phils bullpen, they got the job done. And the bottom of the lineup, for a change, did most of the work offensively. Brandon Marsh and Max Kepler both went 2 for 4 with home runs in the game. Kepler talked after the game about dealing with the adversity that he has this year.
Baseball is a game of adversity. It's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of ugly to it too, if you allow it to get to you. I'm just happy to still be here and watch these guys ball. At the end of the day, we got a W, and I think the Mets just lost, so good day.
And he is right. The Mets did just lose. They lost to the Guardians last night. The Phils are up 2.5 in the NL East as a result. Game 3 against the Orioles is today at 12:35 p.m. The Phils have the opportunity for the sweep, and Ranger Suarez goes to the mound against Trevor Rogers. The Eagles, they're back on the practice field today, but camp's closed to the media. We'll get plenty of Eagles action tomorrow, though. It's their first preseason game. They'll take on the Bengals tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. We'll have a lot of coverage surrounding that today, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, my name is Phil E. And from
athleticssports.com, Johnny, and they had an article of the top 10 biggest storylines entering the 2025 NFL season. So league-wide, not just the Eagles. And it's by their team, so not one specific author for the article. So coming in at number 10, I'll just go through them. They have reasonings for all of them, but I won't waste anybody's time. Number 10, how will Jaden Daniels follow up his historic rookie season? Number 9, will Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar win MVP? Number 8, will the Bears win a playoff game? Number 7, will the Bengals make the playoffs? Number 6, can Brock Purdy lead the 49ers back to dominance? 5, can the Cowboys make it back to the playoffs? 4, of course, will Aaron Rodgers have success in Pittsburgh? 3, can the Eagles repeat as Super Bowl champions?
Okay, there are 2 better ones than that?
I find that questionable.
I do too.
2, can the Lions make it to the Super Bowl? And 1, how will Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs bounce back? I don't have a problem with the 10. I think the ordering's a little different.
Yeah, I think the ordering's differently, but I think that may be one of the best lists of 10 that I've seen.
Now, there are other storylines that I'm intrigued by. Question is whether or not they crack the top 10. Like, I am really intrigued by how Travis Hunter will be used this year. Is he going to play? He's going to play both offense and defense, but will it be like 75% of the snaps on offense
I don't know
and 50% of the snaps on defense? Like,
I don't know how they could do that.
Right. If anything, defensively, I would imagine he's on the field more.
I would imagine.
Because you don't want to mix and match. You don't want to have a corner coming off. Like, how many times have we seen offensive linemen struggle like when Jason Peters would get hurt, we'd see the left tackle that would have to replace him, and maybe the first drive or two would be hard for them to sort of get back into the pace of the game. I can't see a defensive cornerback having to constantly be like, all right, I'm ready to go in this play. I'm ready to go in this play because Travis needs a breather for offense. But that's like a top 10 storyline for me, is how he's utilized.
It's probably not on mine as far as it's an individual storyline that I will definitely pay attention to, but it's probably not a top 10 for me. I'm always more team. Like, teams intrigue me, like the team story.
Okay.
Like, if Joe Burrow and the Bengals don't do anything, I never want to hear about the Bengals again. Like, I don't want to hear about it again. Like, we're so force-fed Bengals talk. I really do want to hear. I really believe the Ravens are as good as advertised. Am I wrong? That's one for me. I do believe
we have time to get there, but they're my pick out of the AFC to get to the Super Bowl.
If it's Ravens Eagles Super Bowl, I think that would be just incredibly entertaining.
Yeah. I think the Ravens make it this year. I think they break through.
So you do? You think it's that year?
Their defense got even better, and you saw how good Lamar and Derrick Henry were together.
Sure.
And remember, Lamar's biggest thing is always he has come up small. He didn't come up small in the playoffs last year. Remember, our Mark Andrews had the big fumble.
He did
in the middle of the field.
He didn't play great though.
But he was not the we have found playoff games where you can literally pinpoint to Lamar.
How about this? Lamar has not been Jalen.
Sure.
Lamar has not been Jalen in the postseason.
Can't argue it.
Sure.
And that to me is just that's what I don't understand that people can't articulate. Is that Lamar has not lost a playoff game playing as well as Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Like, he's lost playoff games, but not playing as well as Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts lost a Super Bowl playing a game better than Lamar has ever played.
Mahomes, yeah.
Than Lamar has ever played.
Okay.
He lost a Super Bowl game balling out, playing better than Lamar Jackson has ever played in a playoff game. And so, to me, I want to see Lamar take it to the next level. I'm fascinated by the Ravens, though.
Yeah.
Very fascinated.
Connor, is there a storyline in there that you'd be... I wonder, do you have family ties with the storyline?
I was just thinking this.
Michael J. Fox has a story?
This may be biased because of half my family being Vikings fans. I think there's a lot of really interesting NFL stuff that's not just Viking stuff that hinges on what J.J. McCarthy does up there this year. Like, what will that tell us about what the NFC North was last year? Was that a flash in the pan? If the Vikings can take advantage of that division, could they be a dangerous NFC team? What does it say about if Sam Darnold is a true NFL quarterback or not? What does it say about like a lot of things with what the Bears could be, the Lions could be, the Packers could be? I think J.J. McCarthy is a really interesting hinge point for the NFC.
Yeah, because he could stink. And that team is good enough to win games because they have, obviously, they'll be missing Jordan Addison for the first couple of weeks. He was suspended yesterday.
3 games, right?
Yeah. But, that offense is still prolific, and that defense is very good, and they added to it. But if J.J. McCarthy stinks, like
if I said to you right now, J.J. McCarthy, top 25% quarterback in the NFL.
No.
Potential.
Potential. Wait,
like,
for this year?
Do you see him being... Like, for his career, like in the league, he will be a top 8 guy because there's 32 teams.
I haven't seen enough to
I don't
say
believe
it,
he's...
but
I've never seen J.J. McCarthy where I've gone, I think he's going to be like a top 8 guy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you would ask me that about whoever the hell Brock Purdy was...
Yeah, but I still don't see Brock as that either.
But that's a team that played in the Super Bowl. I mean,
I got you. But I see... But then I could say the same thing about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. No.
Jimmy Garoppolo's been to a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo's been to NFC title games. And I don't consider him a top 8 guy.
That's the point I'm making. I'm just saying he doesn't have to be.
No,
but that team is closer than a lot of people think.
I think it's being... He's going to miss... McCarthy is going to miss Addison for at the Bears, home for the Falcons, home for the Bengals.
Yeah, and he gets them back when they go overseas because they have the back-to-back overseas games.
Yeah.
A lot of...
Still trying to figure out why they did that.
Just to keep him out there, I guess.
No, but why they did 2, though?
I don't know.
That's just weird.
A lot of Denver love on our YouTube chat right now. Their defense is going to be very, very good. The question is Bo Nix and that Broncos offense ready to take like a leap forward?
That's a really good pick. I like the Denver story.
Their defense is really good. Like
I think they're a team that is. I'm going to tell you that the Denver hype, to me, is bordering Commander hype. In my opinion,
I don't think so. Because I don't think anybody really values them as a super. Like there are people that are literally saying the Commanders could win the Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl.
But I mean, they're being penciled in by a lot of people as a playoff team. I would not pencil them in as a playoff team. Denver.
Wild card?
Well, I mean,
the AFC's too stacked.
Yeah, and then you're talking wild card, and then that's a crapshoot. When you're talking about a team as a wild card, are they competing for a division title?
I don't believe so. No.
Are they a third place team in their division?
I think it's between the Broncos and Chargers. Sure. I think the Chiefs, because Chiefs are number 1.
Okay,
and then it's Broncos Chargers, and they will fight for that second spot.
That's a sneaky good division.
See, I'm going to lean towards. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to lean towards Chargers. I think it's Chargers Chiefs battling for 1.
Okay.
And Broncos being 3rd clearly. Like right now, and I may be way off on wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be clearly.
I think the Broncos are not in the. I think that you will see those 2 teams be definitively ahead of them.
Okay.
What? No Raiders love?
No. But I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better. Like Andrew and I have talked about this. I think the Raiders under Pete Carroll will be a much better. I just
don't buy into Geno Smith.
Yeah,
being anything.
Hey, man, you can write him off. He's not going to write back.
Geno Smith being a 9 or a 10 win quarterback. That's what you can sort of write in.
He was a 9 or 10 win quarterback with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I kind of like that division out there in the AFC West.
I sort of do too.
Decent division.
I think it's a dogfight division. Division only.
I think that the tough divisions will be the AFC West, the NFC East, and the NFC West.
East?
I don't think the East will be a tough division.
NFC East has... Really?
Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders?
No.
Eagles, Commanders.
Eagles, Commanders.
Cowboys mid, Giants terrible.
I think the Cowboys will win some games this year.
Yeah, maybe 7, 8.
Wow. Commanders overhyped, Cowboys mid, Giants nothing.
Did we just get a mid from John Kincade?
Yeah, I just used you.
We did. That's amazing.
There you go.
All right, coming up next, we got some text messages. Our key 3. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
Everyone's just
For my son, that was not. I'm not used to that.
I love that.
It wasn't Christy called me. Well, she did call me, but it was Cooper wanted to talk to you, which melts my heart. But I can't believe it. It's August 6th and we're already doing this. Lowe's already has up the Halloween decorations.
What are we doing, Lowe's?
And it's the home for pros, man.
Yes, they are. I love Lowe's.
And Christy had to make a pit stop there, and so
they have the
she brought
Halloween
Coop.
stuff out.
Yeah, and look, their Halloween stuff. It's like I don't do up the Halloween house. I would put a pumpkin out.
So you half-ass
a candle. Yeah, but there are. You know how some houses it's like terrifying. The stuff for at least for a 3-year-old.
Is he scared of it?
He was scared of the blow up like ghouls, and ghosts.
He was?
Yeah.
Really? I guess at 3.
When you walk past them and they cackle at you because they're all the motions, all the motion stuff.
I got to tell you, I've jumped at some of the ones that are delayed where you stand on it and it's delayed and then it like flies at you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you're an adult who knows that they're not going to get you.
That's awesome.
Whereas a 3-year-old, but he had to call daddy. And I like that melts my heart.
That's awesome, though.
Melts my heart a little bit.
That's awesome.
That I was able
Coop,
to
it's okay. I get scared too, dude. I get scared.
You know, Schefty, when we had him on earlier, he talked about Micah Parsons. There's a chance he doesn't play week 1.
Oh, come on now. We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
No, but I'm just saying, like, what if that happens? Like, that's...
Well, if it happens, it's great.
Go
but
Birds. Go Birds, baby.
Yes, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. I think that it's way off of that. We're 29 days away.
Hey, Jerry Jones himself said he's not confident that he'll be available week 1.
That's gamesmanship. He's 29 days away. I would say he's doing the conditioning stuff. He's not doing any drills. He's doing the classroom stuff. I'm going to tell you, if it gets to within 10 days, I would say
okay.
Cowboys fans worry. Yeah, this is all game.
You know what's gotten really quiet? The Trey Hendrickson stuff.
Yeah. Well, he went back. He left the state and then returned to the state, and now he's holding in.
Yeah, so I ripped him on ESPN.
He's like the Texas Democrats. He left the state.
I ripped him. I ripped him on ESPN the other day because he said I didn't want this to become public.
Right.
Well, then why'd you post?
Why'd you post that you were in Florida?
In Florida.
On
like,
I-10.
Come on, bro. Like, you can't. I hate when it's, the media. Like, you did it. It's like when Brandon Graham is saying how A.J. Brown, Darius, and Jalen Hurts don't like each other anymore. And it's like, oh, my God, the media made so much of it. You're the one who said it.
Or we had to go with Big Dom over to Jalen's house.
Right.
Dude. Loose lips sink ships.
Right.
And it's your lips.
So when Trey Hendrickson is like, man, I didn't want this to go public, you're the one that posted it on Instagram that you were in Florida the day one of training camp.
You were like a teenage girl after a breakup.
This show is about accountability. People need to start holding themselves more accountable. Anyways.
You know, they put down the damn phones.
That thing's gone quiet.
Really quiet. Why? Because the Cincinnati checkbook has like dust on it. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but even like the trades, all the trade rumors have like
they're
gone cold.
Because who's trading?
I'm sure somebody would want Trey Hendrickson for the right
taking
price.
on that. Well, what's the right price? I mean, like
I don't know I don't know what the draft capital would be, but I'm sure there are teams that could use Trey Hendrickson.
No, there are teams that could.
The Eagles could use Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, it's like these people. Oh, should the Eagles trade for Micah Parsons? No, you're just lazy. You're just lazy, and you didn't do any show prep. No, they shouldn't. For God's sakes, they have to sign their own players. Should the Eagles trade for Trey Hendrickson? No, they shouldn't. They have a slew of guys they have to pay.
They could use him.
I mean, I'd look at Micah.
It'd be.
I don't even care about the money with Micah Parsons.
Okay, sign Micah Parsons. You're not signing Jalen Carter.
Or you're not signing Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith.
The question should be, you're not signing Jalen Carter. So it's okay. Do you want to do that?
Johnny, you got to revel in having Howie more, man.
No, you can't. There's some things that you can't do. Go, well, Howie can do it. No, he can't do that.
All things are possible.
No, not with Howie. There's not. You can't. But by the way, Jordan Davis getting a lot of love.
Yeah. I mean, look
for every press Vic.
Yeah.
Sirianni. I'm very worried about the weight loss. I got to tell you, I've been worried about it.
I know you have been.
Like, just because I've seen Jordan since he came out of high school. and I just know what kind of a
behemoth of a human being he is.
Yes, he's a monster. I mean, he's a spectacular human being.
Yeah.
But he is a monster of just taking up space, and I'm not used to the idea of thinking of what he's going to be like. More agile and much slimmer.
I would imagine he's also strong still, though.
Right, but much slimmer. I just am. It's going to be unnerving to me to see him that way, because he was gigantic.
When you were out on Monday during one of the breaks, Amy and I were just because Amy was on TV,
right,
with Sports Rise Central, and then of course here. So it's always weird when you see them.
You see two different places.
And one of the segments was Jordan Davis in his press conference. And I remember a couple weeks ago, he was like, yeah, I want to be between 330 and 339. Imagine saying that. I want my weight goal to be between 330 pounds and 339 pounds.
Connor's already told me that.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
That's Connor's retirement goal. Connor wants to be Fat Connor.
Yes, sir.
And people think this is a joke.
It's not going to happen.
Connor, you've told me. You want to get to the point in life where you don't care and you can just
eat. God, I would love to be 300 pounds.
It's not going to happen.
And Connor can just
I'm telling you right now, you're not going to.
No, I know. I can barely get to 200.
One of my good buddies, Coleman Rudolph, played in the NFL. Coleman played in the NFL. I think he played at 310. He was an offensive lineman. I think he played at 310. And Coleman's 180 now.
Well, yeah, because he stopped eating the 85,000 pounds of protein
But I think
a day.
he's 180 now. And I just go, every time I'm like, dude, you're just too slim.
Well, a lot of those linemen, John Runyon, remember
Todd Harriman's?
Todd Harriman's.
Todd Harriman's looks, but Todd Harriman's is 180.
Jeff Saturday. I'm trying to think of some of the ESPN guys that just look completely different.
Completely different.
Because
by the way, it's great
eating.
For their health too.
Right, absolutely.
It's great for their health to get that girth off of them.
Yeah.
But man, Jordan's getting a lot of love, a lot of praise, a lot of effusive praise.
Good.
Which is great to see.
Good.
Yes.
Love that. All right, what do we got on the text line before we play the key three?
All right, so we got two I want to get to real quick because there are people admitting they were wrong about stuff with the Eagles season. So our first texter, no name, says, I was wrong about Nakobe Dean. I was convinced he couldn't play early in the season. Clearly that wasn't right.
Okay.
That's a great one.
It's good accountability.
And then we have Mike from Levittown checking in that says, to be fair, I was wrong on Hurts's numbers, but he also didn't start 2 games because we didn't need him to and was knocked out of a loss in a game we were winning by 14 points.
That's a good point.
So maybe you owe that one back.
The 20 touchdowns we probably would have gotten.
Well, but you can't do that. You can't get your bet back.
No, but when we evaluate
how productive
before
he
season starts,
yeah.
We always say you can't predict injury. So I get what the guy's saying.
I got you.
Credit to us. We're close.
Credit to us.
Almost,
we're accountable. All right, it's time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
That legitimate MVP case became even more legitimate yesterday with more line movement. Shohei Ohtani now just minus 400 and Kyle Schwarber at plus 300.
Well, I think Shohei moved some money yesterday. I think it was good.
Ipe.
I think there was a little maybe some Venmo out of a prison cell.
That was awesome.
That was awesome yesterday, and another great night at the ballpark.
A great night at the ballpark.
And a quick night for the most part.
Absolutely. Yesterday was the FU Phillies game from some of the members of the Philadelphia Phillies. And look, I applaud it, man, because we are critical of these players day in and day out, deservedly so, right? Let's be real, deservedly so.
Well, I've been banging the drum on the whole time on Walker thing all year.
I know you have.
Look, his contract has been ridiculous. His contract's a terrible
He's not been playing toward
But
the
Taijuan
contract.
Walker is one of the best fifth starters in baseball.
Sure.
And people keep moving the goalposts on him. Every time he does something, it's like, but he's still but his contract sucks. But is it? No. Yeah, but Taijuan Walker's been really, really good this year. In fact, been a lot better than some of the other starters. You got to admire Max Kepler and can't hate on him for wanting to play every day and everything. I can hate on it. I can absolutely hate on him because he's hitting 200. And whether it's one night or not, he can want whatever he wants. But when you don't perform like that, I can absolutely hate on it because it hurts my baseball team. And I love my baseball team.
I know you do.
And guess what? You can love your baseball team and you want the best team to be out there. This isn't Little League. I'm not worried about the feelings of little Max and whether little Max is upset that somebody boos him or little Max is upset that he's not playing every day. This is professional baseball. I don't feel sorry for little Max. He's making $10 million this year, and he's made tens of millions of dollars in baseball. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel sorry that, oh, wow, you had a big night, and it's like, wow, he still feels something. No, I don't feel bad for it. He's been stealing money all year, like the freaking Hamburglar from McDonald's with a mask on payday. I don't get that storyline. I'm glad that Max Kepler had a night last night.
Because it benefited your baseball.
But spare me you got to love it, Max, and you got to root for him. And hey, you know what? I root for him because he wears the laundry. And if he's not wearing the laundry next week and somebody else is, I'll root for that guy. I'm not feeling the sympathy for the $10 million guy hitting 200. He really wants to play. Well, that's nice.
204, John.
That's nice. He really wants to play. Good for him. Good for freaking him.
From ESPN, our man Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's going on? Well, Dick doesn't always get what he wants. It's not exactly how it works. There's obviously a group of people that want a lot of different things, and sometimes they want different things, and sometimes they don't. So I don't know exactly how the battle for Ja'Cory and Bennett came down, or any agreements or disagreements. I really don't know any of the backstory there, other than I know that they were looking for more help at that position, and they obviously parted ways with a player where they're very deep, and who knows if ultimately in the end he might have even made the roster. You don't even know that, because they're so deep at that spot right now, and being so deep there enabled them to acquire a player that I think they have some interest in, that they're curious about at a spot where they need more help in the defensive line.
All right, that is the Kincade Salciunas key three best minutes from today's show. John was very animated.
I heard that. Sometimes you hear it back.
The key three could have just been your open.
That was wild.
It could have just been 3 minutes of you.
It's a different day and age. It's just a different day and age. I understand where Joe the Cynic's coming from in his tweet more.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating people for doing what their job is, their basic job, is one thing. Celebrating somebody who hasn't done their job the vast majority of the year, and they show up and they do it like one day, and being like, yeah, we really need to support. Like that, to me, I just don't get it.
Yeah, because
I don't get it.
For the people, because look, I don't get it. I celebrate that he had a good game yesterday.
Yes,
right?
And we do. But it's the laundry to me.
If he bounces back with a bad performance today or whenever he's back in the lineup, are we like, then what?
Dude, like if Max Kepler was a Padre next year and then came in to the game.
I have no emotional attachment with
Okay, good. So, yeah. That's how I feel.
Unless they win the World Series.
Right, exactly. Unless there was some
Is he on the World Series roster?
I'm emotional for anyone on the World Series roster. I don't care if you stink.
No, is he on? I'm asking the question. Is he on the roster?
Is he on this team's World Series roster?
I don't know. I didn't think he'd be here when I got back from Spain, so God only knows.
I am legitimately surprised he's still on the roster.
I'm shocked. Connor, I said to you before you went, I said Max Kepler won't be back here when you get back from Spain. I said it before you left. I was like, he won't be here.
I'm shocked as well.
I'm floored.
Yeah, but
I'm more shocked that Crawford's not here. That's what's more.
Yeah. By the way, he would not be in the roster today or on the lineup today because Trevor Rogers, lefty for the Orioles. By the way, having a nice season, Trevor Rogers.
He is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good.
1.44 ERA. That's for the Orioles.
By the way, the Mets bullpen's been blowing games.
Yeah, has been.
Wait, Greg Soto's not good?
Isn't it great?
Oh.
Yeah, Greg Soto, we knew that.
Well, just fun. It's fun to see them. They've lost 2 out of 3 to the two, and now the third game today against the Guardians.
Yeah.
Hey, Window Nation is making a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research, and you can too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saved my life 3 times over.
Damn right, Johnny.
It's getaway day tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're taking another vacation.
No, I'm heading to the Price is Right, dude. And to the Young and the Restless.
Oh, that's work.
That's a vacation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a vacation.
It's not vacation. I gotta click off a lifetime bucket list item.
Like some of us work here. I'm doing all post-show headlines.
We're going to do post-show headlines right after this.
Yeah, I've been grinding.
I got to talk my way.
Hell out of here.
I got to talk my way onto that cast.
I'm the only one that works around here. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Mike Missanelli Show comes your way next with Ray Dunn. We'll